scared is white flags. Not on my level where I stand. Got it, I'm shooting a hot hand. Out of the gym, I was locked out. I failed, the kid was a dropout. I changed the game and it's up now. The city that need me is clear now. The people is giving the damage. The people is giving the...
Sandman, I can tap dance through the energy blast. Run flat, never pop your orbit. I keep energy in storage. I see spinning the globe, my fingertip itch. If I could pluck the earthquake hit. Look at the wrist, look at your body, I shake it and shift. Big fish in a small pond, Godzilla with a boot on. I step into your lawn, turn skyscrapers into croutons. Hit the button going high speed, need a megaphone to announce me. I move through the pygmies in the top pick, got a big fleece. Sit back, better breathe deep. Look around and they looking at me. 10 toes still never defeat. Push button never needed a key. I see they ain't ready for me. Hot boy still 100 degrees. I cross eyes and I dotted the T's. E&D till I leave in peace.
The people is giving the damage. The people is giving the... The people is giving the damage. The people is giving the...
Let's go.
Farmall. 100 years of can-do. 100 years of milestones. 100 years of family. Generation after generation, its legacy lives on. The one for all since 1923.
First Federal Community Bank is excited to offer the Ohio Home Buyers Plus program, and it's meant to offer an above market interest rate to help the potential home buyer in their journey towards home ownership.
We've got great rates, especially for first-time home buyers. Here at First Federal Community Bank, we are here to make the home buying experience smooth and stress-free.
As a community bank, we're excited to offer this account to help fulfill the dream of owning a home. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Mohawk Warriors and the Carey Blue Devils. The fight for the top of the N10 is going to be decided here tonight in week number 9. We'll take a break and be back on WQEL right after this.
100 years of can-do. 100 years of milestones. 100 years of family. Generation after generation, its legacy lives on.
Josh Tallings, Jeff Roberts with you. Jeff, two of the best teams in the N10 Conference. Mohawk comes in at 6-2, 4-1 against the N10 Conference. Carey at 4-4. Also, though, at 4-1 against the N10 Conference. Mohawk, a tough loss last week against Upper Sandusky. They were down Kane Heyman, Caleb Bish, two of their big seniors, two of their big playmakers. They look to bounce back this week in front of the home crowd. But even with them back, this is still going to be a dogfight.
Oh, absolutely. We know that the Carey Blue Devils are no joke. When we saw them earlier in the season, and they were 0-3, and things weren't going well because they had dropped the conference game, people were all like, "Oh, this Carey team's not good." But the reality is, they're very good. I mean, the one thing that they just don't do quite as well as they've done in the past is the passing game is a little bit weaker, but they still play very, very good defense, and they run the ball like heck because they've got a 240-pound running back, and who the heck can match up against the 240-pound running back in Eli Steen?
Carey's defense, you mentioned, comes in averaging or giving up 16.8 points per game. This Mohawk offense averaging 37.5 points per game, the top offense in the N10 Conference, led by senior quarterback Ben Bogner. Dual threat guy. He can get on the outside. He can move out of the pocket, extend plays, throw it down the field. I mean, he's got a real chance at 4,000 yards from scrimmage.
Yeah.
I mean, this kid's a stud, and he's got with Bish, Heyman out there. He's got weapons.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. Matter of fact, early in the season, after Mohawk really put it on Colonel Crawford, I spoke to a couple of coaches, and they told me flat out they thought that Mohawk might have a real argument between Bogner and Kane Heyman to have the number 1 and number 2 players in the N10. They thought that's how good both of them are. And, Bogner was one of those players that when he started, became the starter here a couple of years ago, I thought, man, he's pretty solid. Like, he's a solid quarterback as a sophomore. Now he's a total stud. He's got 21 touchdowns on the season, 2 interceptions. He also is running for almost 7 yards a carry. So he's dual threat, but he makes smart decisions with the football as well. So, even in games where he hasn't always had the weapons around him, that they can't be quite as explosive, he's minimizing their mistakes, which is really helping them be able to win football games. And that's really what it's coming down to. With Carey, they're going to come into the game and try to play, Carey football, run the football against a pretty darn good Mohawk defense. And for Mohawk, they're working the other way where they need to kind of maybe, get things going a little bit and kind of spread Carey out a little bit. I don't necessarily know. I think they're pretty comfortable getting into a little bit of a fist fight with them. But I think that at the same point in time, they want to get it into the hands of some of these real playmaker studs that they have. And Bish and Heyman get that ball in their hands and let them do some explosive things with it.
I think one of the keys to tonight's game, as we see it on the OH report coming up, is going to be smart.
Yeah.
Just be smart. Both teams. They have to be disciplined. They cannot allow the hard count to get them. They can't on a 3rd and long give up a hold to back them up even further or a defensive pass interference. Both teams have to be disciplined and very smart with the football or defensively.
I don't think there's any question about it. I mean, you're looking at 2 teams that they're not really built. Even Carey, for as good as they've been over the last several years in their ability to run the football, they're not built well to be at 3rd down and 12. They can't have penalties. Even when they're on 1st and 15, it really puts them at a disadvantage because that's just not how they're constructed. They're not really built to get a lot of big plays. What they are very good at is just, like I said, being tough, being strong, giving it to Eli Steen, letting power run. But it's not going to be easy because Mohawk does have the number 1 defense in the league, especially against the run. They're only letting up 2.7 yards per carry. So that's going to be a battle there. I mean, Colonel Crawford couldn't move the ball at all on this team in terms of through the running game. I mean, and Crawford has a pretty darn good running game. So, that's the type of stuff. It's going to be a battle up front. It's going to be a battle in the trenches. And it's going to be interesting to see how it kind of plays out in a huge game in the N10.
Getting set for week number 9 here, the Burkhart Farm Center game of the week from Sycamore. It's the Mohawk Warriors and the Carey Blue Devils. Mohawk will get the ball to start this game, and they will head east. Back deep for the Warriors. Number 2, Caleb Bish. Number 20, Braxton Frisch. And kicking off, I believe, is Geary. Nathan Geary, number 20 for the Blue Devils. It is Heyman, I apologize, and Bish.
Yep, Heyman and Bish back there. And again, 2 of their better athletes over at that wide receiver position.
2 guys they certainly missed last week. Short kick. It looks like it's going to be Bish coming up fielding it at the 20. We are underway here from Mohawk. Bish cutting up center of the field. Gets between the hashes. Breaks free. Bish still driving his feet up over the 35 and down at the 38-yard line. And Caleb Bish already making his presence known here on the opening kickoff. We are underway from Mohawk.
Going to be very intriguing to see how Mohawk decides to attack Carey. Obviously, even though they have these great weapons on the outside and Bogner, a solid quarterback, their bread and butter is still running the football with Caden Bish. They do that an awful lot. But are they feeling comfortable coming out and attacking a very good Carey run defense, or do they want to attack them deep?
Lone wide receiver comes near side to the left. That's Heyman, Bogner, and a gun. Pass protection. Bogner wants to throw. Heyman in a one-on-one. Near side, incomplete. Just overthrown. He had one-on-one coverage. Kane Heyman against Trip Phoenix out there.
Yep.
And Phoenix, Heyman, 2 of the best athletes not only in the league, in the area.
No question about it. And, Phoenix is probably the one guy Carey has that can maybe get a little bit of a matchup. They can put him in one-on-one coverage with some of these very good Mohawk receivers. And he was running stride for stride with Kane Heyman down the field. Very good defense there.
We'll see if the Warriors go back to the pass here on 2nd and 10. Bogner in the gun, back on his left hip. 3 wide receivers near side to the left. Wants to throw. Near side bubble screen. Pass complete. That's Bish. Bish with a blocker in front. He's got the 50, 45, 40. Bish into the open field. 30, and he's going to go down at the 25-yard line. Bish caught the bubble screen. He had a convoy in front and a huge chunk of yardage there for Bish and the Mohawk Warriors.
Yeah, that'll go 37 yards down the field. A short pass with great downfield blocking. Not only did the line do a good job of selling that little short pass, but the other receivers, things like that, they got downfield. They were getting into Carey players. And then Caleb Bish, he just does a good job zigzagging his way down the field so those Carey defenders couldn't get an even hit on him.
The center, Eli Chevalier, was out in front. He didn't make contact, but he was deterring defenders left and right. Again, shotgun. They're going to go to the back this time. Running it is Caden Bish. Bish on an ISO and maybe got a yard.
Yep.
Defenders left and right. Again,
Caden Bish,
they're going to go
only
to
a
the back
sophomore,
this time.
but he's impressed me a lot throughout this season. I think he's been a pretty darn good back. They've got him at 331 yards coming into the game, but 6.5 yards per carry. And, they've had a lot of games where they haven't really needed him a lot in the second half or whatever, but I think they can rely on him a lot more than they have at this point in time if they decide they want to do it.
It was number 40, Dash Puckett, on that tackle, and you'll hear his name a lot tonight. 2 wide receivers set, 1 on each side. Bogner wants to throw. Rolls left, going to air it out deep in the back, or in the end zone. It is a sliding catch made by Caleb Bish. Bish got a step on the defender, sliding in the back corner of the end zone. He hauls it in. Bogner a drop in the bucket and Mohawk strikes first.
You know, they went after Trip Phoenix early on, trying to get it deep to Heyman. Didn't have any success. That time they said, you know what, if they're going to put Trip Phoenix on Kane Heyman all game, we're going to go to Caleb Bish on the other side, and let's see how their second cornerback matches up. And he just had two big plays, a 37-yarder, a 61-yard, and a 24-yard touchdown for 61 total yards and a first drive score.
Bogner to Bish for 6. Extra point attempt by Brant Kirian. Snap is back, hold is down. Kirian's kick is up, and it's good. 10:20 to go in the first quarter, and Mohawk already leading here at home 7-0 over Carey. Sole possession of the N10 on the line here in week number 9.
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schieffer. Schieffer finds a hole at the center. Schieffer turns on the burners. Schieffer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schieffer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
Who did?
Who kicked the extra point?
It was Brant Kirian.
Kirian.
With you tonight on WQEL and live online on the OH Report. Braxton Frisch to kick off for the Mohawk Warriors. Good kick from Frisch. It's going to be fielded,
Boom.
And he goes down
Yep.
at about the 14-yard line. That is number 5, Lucas Smith-Hayward.
Yeah, he just
On the
slipped.
sliding catch.
Yeah, his just feet came under him as he was trying to stop to come underneath it. He slipped and fell. He still caught the ball, but he was falling to the ground, and he tried to pop back up and start running, but it's like, nope, he hit the ground.
Not the NFL, my friend.
That's it.
So, Carey, first possession for the Blue Devils. And they're going to have it 1st and 10. They'll spawn it at the 13-yard line. This offense ran by Kyler Bose. Bose, definitely a guy who's more familiar with handing it off than throwing it.
He's a good runner, though, so you got to watch him in
And
there.
he's going to keep it on 1st down. Tries the left side. Not a lot of space.
Yep.
Pickup of 1, maybe 2 yards.
One of the things I think is going to be interesting to watch as this game goes on, we talked about Eli Steen, the big running back for them that's 6'1", 240 pounds. Well, who plays middle linebacker for Mohawk? A guy who is a tackling machine in Owen Patrizzi, who they list at 5'9", 160, and you've told me flat out that is a gift. Is
Jeff, I am
big
5'9".
of a gift.
If Owen is 5, if they have him at 5'9", I'm 6'2".
So there you go. So interesting how that'll play out.
I formation on 2nd and 8.
That's
Again,
Steen.
they go to the left side. This time it's Steen. Short game, but sets him up with a 3rd and about 5. Klaus on the tackle. Patrizzi in the mix.
And this is part of what impressed me about Mohawk earlier this year when we saw him, especially against Colonel Crawford, when we see him against good teams, is their players tackle one-on-one. It's not like, we need 5 guys every single time. They've been very good about if they get one guy who can get the handle on a running back, they get him down to the ground. And that is a huge advantage to any defense.
Couple guys join him in the backfield here on 3rd and 5. 2 receivers go wide to the right. He wants to throw. 4-receiver route. Going to air it out near side. It's a duck. It was tipped in the air, almost intercepted. It was 22, Caden Bish, who got a hand on it. That ball was fluttering up there like a wounded duck, but Bish just couldn't haul it in.
I think he gets that easily. It's a high pass. Like, it's high, so he has to jump up for it. But if it's a tight spiral, he's going to pick it down. That thing, the way it was fluttering around. And he would have walked in, absolutely. But the way that ball was fluttering all over the place, I don't think he could get a good handle on it, especially having to jump up in the air.
So now Carey will be forced to punt. Low line drive.
Almost got blocked, but.
And just barely gets over the 50-yard line and will be down at the 45 of the Mohawk Warriors. Bish nor Heyman had a chance to return, but still good field position for Mohawk here on their second possession. A quick 3 and out for Carey. Mohawk gets the ball back, already up 7-0 at home.
I'll tell you right now, if before the game, if we would have found Coach Eric Daniel and said, what would be ideal in terms of a start of a football game, he'd say, we go downfield, we score, and then we get a 3 and out on defense. Great field position to start a second drive. This has been a perfect start for Mohawk early on.
Bogner in the gun. He's got trips to his left, tight end to the right. Back on his right hip. Fakes it. Going to keep it. Rolling. No, that's Heyman. Heyman in the Wildcat, and he's going to scramble for 4 yards up to the 49-yard line.
No, that was Bogner.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Yep. You had it right.
6 and 5.
Yes, exactly.
Similar builds. Black uniforms. You know, I'll make excuses.
Yeah, I'm all right with it, too.
I wouldn't be surprised, though, if we do see Heyman in the Wildcat.
We've seen
it before.
Like, they sometimes move him back there just to give them teams different looks. So
Bogner in the backfield again, joined by Caden Bish. Bish on his right side. Trips to the left. They check the sideline for the play here in the first quarter. Play clock down to 4. Has the snap. Wants to throw. Up in the pocket. Has
deep.
All day. Airs it out far side of the field.
Got
it. It is complete. It's Kane Heyman on the far side. An absolute rainmaker of a throw. He led Heyman perfectly once again in one-on-one coverage, and it is all Kane Heyman here in his first 2 one-on-one matchups.
54 yards on that pass down the field, and you know what? Carey's trying to match up against these receivers man-to-man, and on that one, Heyman had a step, and Bogner just threw it up in the air and dropped it right perfectly into his hands.
Caden Bish, the back, gets the call.
Up
the middle, untouched into the end zone. Bish for 6.
Yep, Carey still sort of kind of trying to make adjustments, figuring out what to do. Mohawk snaps it, and sure enough, a big hole right up the middle. And the Mohawk Warriors are absolutely rolling early on here at Warrior Field.
Looking to rebound after a loss last week against Upper Sandusky. One I'm sure Coach Eric Daniel and the rest of the Mohawk staff would want back. But hey, they are still on pace for an N10 title, and they're looking to defend it here at home in week number 9. Brant Kirian on for the extra point. Snap back, hold down, kick up. Kick is good. 14-0, 7:46 to go in the first quarter here from Sycamore. You're listening to the Burkhart Farm Center Game of the Week on WQEL and live online on the OH Report. We'll be right back.
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schieffer. Schieffer finds a hole at the center. Schieffer turns on the burners. Schieffer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schieffer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
We can help. We're local and have the experience to help you return.
QEL 92.7 FM and live online on the OH Report. Mohawk 14, Carey 0. And Jeff, this is about as good of a start as you could ask for if you're a Mohawk fan.
It's perfect. I mean, you know what? Two touches, 2 scores, 3 and out on defense on the other side. It's going great. And a great kickoff here.
Bobbled at the 7-yard line, fielded by Smith Hayward. Hayward looking for some room, can't find it. Gets over the 15, but knocked down at the 16-yard line. Had to go back and grab it at about the 4.
Yep.
And good special teams coverage by the Warriors, and they bury the Blue Devils deep on their second possession.
And this is actually great for Mohawk on top of it because, as we said, Carey, the type of team that doesn't have a super explosive offense. They're just going to kind of pound the ball. But if you make them go 80 yards, they're more prone to make mistakes throughout the process. So that's something to keep in mind.
Just have clarification, Patrizzi is 6'2".
On a step stool?
He plays at times like he's 10 feet tall.
Darn right he does.
First and 10. Blue Devils looking to run. ISO left in the A gap. No room at all. Maybe found the 18-yard line.
But that is for the first, Steen running into Brady Kaufman, 285 pounds. He went down when Steen hits guys who are 140 and the way they fall, that's the first time I've ever seen Steen fall in the same manner.
Bring up 2nd and 8. Doesn't like being hit by guys his size. 7:10 to go here in the first quarter. Mohawk 14, Carey 0. Lone receiver comes near side. That's Trip Phoenix. Bo's in the backfield, back on his left hip. Motion man right to left. That's Bucket. He sets up in a slot near side. Quick stop. He's got Phoenix. Phoenix in the open field. Gets tripped up and brought down. We got a flag on the play.
Yep.
Tackle made by Mason Schimpf. Schimpf with a nice open field stop.
Yep, it was close. I mean, he got him at the shoestring, but I think it's going to go down against.
Start?
Yeah, I think it's going to be maybe a procedure penalty or something of that nature. I don't know.
He's pointing towards Mohawk.
He is pointing to Mohawk now. Some sideline violation.
Sideline warning.
Okay, so that one will.
Those Mohawk coaches get a little rowdy.
But, they were giving Trip Phoenix some space there on the sideline, and I got to be honest with you. I mean, that was a shoestring tackle if there ever was one over there on the sideline. I mean, he grabbed that foot and was able to bring him down just barely, and it saved what could have been a touchdown. I mean, Phoenix they were alone out there. That was an island if there ever was one. So, ended up getting the first down.
Margulies comes in. They're going to go with 4 linebackers. Heavy formation for Carey. Toss play left side and filled nicely. About a gain of a yard with forward progress. That was Tanner, Brandon Tanner, the ball carrier on the sweep.
Yep. A lot of times when they go,
Frisch in on the stop, and that sweep was read out perfectly.
When they go for the kind of the stacked I, the triple I, they'll go Dash Puckett, then they'll go Eli Steen, and Bubba Tanner is the deep back, the third guy through. He gives them a little more speed in that look. But every once in a while, then they'll flip it up and they'll put Steen in the big. When they want to go to the big body, they'll bring Mace Puckett in, put him in that second spot, and Eli Steen will go in the third.
And they're all big and strong.
Absolutely.
2 receivers left, tight end to the right, motion man left to right in a slot. Bo's going to take the snap, carry it right side, straight quarterback keeper up to the 35, over the 35, down at give him the 36.
Yeah, that's a pretty good run right there. Go about 5 yards. That's the type of run that I think Coach Merschman will take all day. That's kind of Carey football, and probably one of the rare times where I saw a Mohawk defensive lineman miss an arm tackle on that play. Couldn't get him down.
Well, great gap assignments there. Replay courtesy of the OH report. You could see Carey's offensive line getting to that second level, turning bodies, getting their hips square, and that's allowing them to pick up 7 yards. Again, heavy formation, 2 slot backs to the left side, lone back in the backfield, straight keeper up the gut.
Gotta get the first down.
And Bose has enough for the first down at the 40.
Running straight up the gut against Mohawk is not easy by any stretch of the imagination. It's actually hard because they've got 2 really big bodies right there in the middle. I was just talking a little bit ago about Kaufman at 285. They also have Braxton Rathburn in there at 290. And that's the 2 interior defensive linemen. Those guys are not easy to push off the ball. So Carey's going about it differently there. They just do the quick snap. Get a good look here. That was Mace Puckett.
Mace Puckett.
Yeah, that was Mace. So
Dash Puckett with a really nice game. Actually, both Dash and Mace with nice games last week.
Yep. And Dash Puckett, like I said, tends to be the lead fullback going through. He's in when they go into a regular I, he's kind of their standard fullback. And then they put these other guys behind them. But this is their power look with Steen deep. And it's like I said, then it's, Dash Puckett, Mace Puckett, Steen.
Triple I reverses out, gives it to Steen. And again, even with 2 lead blockers straight ahead, only a pickup of 2 yards. Mohawk holding strong. And, Jeff, this is a very important drive for Carey. They're not built to come from behind.
Yes.
And it's, 3:50, 3:45 to go in the first quarter, and they're already down 2 touchdowns.
Yep. And I think Coach Merschman, the one thing I'll give him credit about is he's not in panic mode yet. He knows if I can get downfield, get in the end zone, I just need to get a stop. And then, I can get right back into this game. But if he gets down 3-4 scores, he knows then it's panic mode because they are not built they don't throw the ball very well.
Bo's under center. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Toss play. Steen moving right side up the B gap.
Space.
Steen's got the first down. over the 45 into Mohawk territory at the 44-yard line, and that's the best carry of the night, best offensive play for Carey.
Well, and part of it is because Mohawk is packing bodies in tight inside. That's what they're doing. They're taking everybody and they're saying, this is a power running team, so let's make sure our guys are in the power formations to try to stop it. But that time they just kind of threw a little bit of a, throw the pitch, take them on the, or take them around the tackle, and they did a nice job blocking and kind of moving some of those the wing defenders out of the way for Steen.
Heavy formation again on 1st and 10. Ball at the 44 Mohawk. Turns, wants to throw. Lets it go.
He's got it.
Over the middle, intercepted. Ball in the center of the field, picked off by Heyman. Heyman falls down at the 40-yard line. He dropped back perfectly in zone coverage. I don't think Bo's ever saw him.
Nope.
And Heyman is not a guy you can put in his area. He'll make a play on it, and he does a big one right there.
They had 2 receivers in the area, but if you look back on the replay here on OH Report, there's 5 black jerseys there. I mean, so the window for him to be able to throw it into is very small because Heyman, even though he's playing more of a zone coverage, he's sitting back staring at Bose the entire time, just going to throw it. And he did. And unfortunately, Heyman is not just the defensive back, he's also a receiver with pretty darn good hands. So jumps up in the air, makes a great pick.
See if Mohawk takes a chance here on 1st and 10 immediately following the turnover. 2 receivers, both sides. Motion man is Bish, left to right. Bogner drops back to throw, has pressure, steps up in the pocket, wants to run over the 40, down at the 41, took a hard hit.
Yeah, he did.
Got kind of high load there.
Yep. Steen had him low, and then another defender, it was Carter Bame, took the opportunity to take a shot up top. But, Bogner feeling some pressure there, just steps up in the pocket, ends up being no gain on the play. But reality is his legs prevented them from taking probably a 7-yard sack.
Bogner has thrown for 1,400 yards, ran for about 600.
Well, with the yards tonight, we'll call it 1,500 yards.
Yeah,
because he's already there.
Trips right side, wants to throw it, bubble screen. Gets a block out there, gets off a tackler. That's Heyman.
There he
again,
goes.
First down and more. 45 and down at the 44-yard line.
Ooh.
And the receiver out there did just enough.
Yep.
Heyman caught the pass, shook the tackle, evaded the second guy, and able to pick up the first down.
Yeah, outstanding job. Andrew Woodland. That's the other receiver out there. And he just slid back and was able to get in that defensive backs, because he read it well. The cornerback came up ready to make the tackle, and Woodland came back and just chipped him enough to get Heyman free.
Bogner again in the gun, stands at his 50. Minute 30 to go here in the first quarter. Bogner he's going to keep
He's
it.
got
Tuck
some
and run
space.
left side. Mogilly's lead blocking. He's got the first down inside the 30. Working for the 25. Goes down at the 26-yard line. First down for Ben Bogner. And there you see the feet of Bogner.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the reason why what we're seeing tonight out of this Mohawk team. Again, we know that they had injuries last week that, but for people who don't know the details and they sometimes just look at the score, they're like, how did they lose to Upper? How did this happen? Because you see this team and it's like, man, they are
fired up,
stinking good.
ready to go. It's homecoming here in Sycamore and a timeout on the field. Carey takes timeout number 1. We'll do the same. Minute 12 to go in the first quarter. We'll be back on WQEL and streaming live on the OH Report.
Hey there, farm.
Farm Center game of the week, and it is senior night, not homecoming.
Yep.
But still, one to celebrate, and Mohawk up 14-0 here in the first quarter.
It's a
and
parents'
driving.
night. It's a homecoming. It's a senior night.
It's a beautiful night for football.
We're celebrating
Ohio.
bus drivers. There's always something happening.
I love it. Bogner in the gun, fakes the handoff, going to keep it himself, straight up the gut. Bogner gets grabbed and drugged down. First on the tackle was Carter Bame.
I think that's a perfect example of also what is different about Ben Bogner this year. He's always been a pretty darn good runner, but he is clearly just so much stronger this year because when he runs the football, rarely are guys bringing him more. Like like, first off, he moves well, so they don't get clean shots on him. But he also, right there, he only got 2 yards, but he was dragging 2-3 bodies to get there.
6 foot, 185, wants to throw it here. Sets up at the 35, rolls left, lets it go, and
throwing it away.
Yep, just getting rid of it. Nobody in the vicinity. Clock stops at 32 seconds here in the first quarter. Mohawk will face a 3rd and 8.
Yeah, Andon Klaus doing the kind of the slant right over the middle of the field, going deep, a kind of deep post. And that was the guy he wanted to get, but Carey deep safeties, and he didn't love the window he was trying to throw it into. And like I said, he's only thrown 2 picks this season. He's been very smart with the football, and there he didn't want to take any chances.
Heyman, Bish, Woodland split wide to the right, tight end left side. Bogner rolling right, wants to throw from the 31, sets up, now reverses, goes over to the right side, lets it fly and incomplete.
Yep, used the stiff arm to get away from the pressure to prevent the sack, and then realized that, I don't got anything here, so he went deep, or he just went deep out of bounds to, get it, just throw it away, live for 4th down, and they are in a territory now where they can go for it, but it's not the easiest one. It's a 4th down and 9. Coach Daniel would much love it to be a lot shorter distance to go. But I will say this, if you look at that one again, if he wanted to uncork it right away, he had a receiver right there at the 1st down marker. He held on to it because he was looking for something a little bigger, and that all closed up.
Here's 3rd and 9. See if Carey brings pressure. Just 2 down linemen. They rush 3. Bogner sets up. All day to throw across the middle. Incomplete.
Yep.
Had Heyman on a post route
Yep.
and needed to put it a little bit more on a line, and he had drilled him right in stride.
Yep.
Instead, it's incomplete. Turnover on downs. Mohawk with a big opportunity missed.
Heyman on that post got in front of the defender, Bubba Tanner, on that play. If he puts it lower, I think it's going to be a really hard play for Tanner to make, because the way he was blocked off by Heyman's body. But like Bogner, just he sailed it a little bit too high in a place where Heyman couldn't grab it.
Carey's offense back out onto the field. They have a punt and an interception so far.
And again, I wonder if after that last drive, if Coach Mershman's going to have second thoughts about saying, let's see if we can catch Mohawk off drive. They were moving the ball running, and then they tried to throw it.
Steen on a toss play, a couple pullers out in front over the 30.
Oh, ball's out.
And ball is loose, but picked up near side. It's
That's
Puckett.
Mace Puckett.
Puckett over the 50, 45, and down at the 41-yard line. And a travesty turned perfect scenario for Calvert, or goodness,
yeah, all
Carey.
of them. Yeah.
The Carey Blue Devils.
No, I'm with you.
Steen, a short pickup, and then the fumble, but Puckett scoops it up and carries it into Mohawk territory for a huge gain.
Yep. It goes from, it was a 10-yard gain, ends up being a 32-yard gain as a result of the fumble and run downfield.
That is the end of the first quarter here on WQEL and live online on the OH Report. Mohawk 14, Carey 0. We'll be back for the second quarter right after this.
Farmall. 100 years of can-do. 100 years of milestones. 100 years of family. Generation after generation, its legacy lives on.
Mohawk and over the 40 up to the 40, call it the 45. Gain of about 7 yards there for Eli Steen.
See, that's what I'm saying. This Carey team's not going to panic that they're down 2 scores. They still got a lot of time, and they are running the ball pretty efficiently now. Ever since that first drive, they're moving the ball down the field. They were doing it on their last drive, but then they tried to get cute and throw a pass, and it caught up to them. Now they're getting back to the running game, and they're moving the ball down the field.
Motion
Steen
Tanner,
on the pitch.
Steen pitch right side, up close.
Again, they're moving the chains there, so as long as they're able to keep doing that. they're going to be perfectly happy playing this type of game because they know all they need is one stop on defense, or even if they don't, if they can just keep it where, it's, all right, we're going to be down one score at halftime, they get the ball to start the second half.
Bogner on the tackle there. And let's talk a little bit more about the victory.
Second turnover of the game for Carey's offense, and Mohawk, like I said, Coach Mershman's got to be losing his mind here because he's like, man, we're moving the ball, we're down 2 scores, we had a chance, and things aren't going well now.
Now Mohawk getting the football back with 10:49 to go in the second quarter, and they lead at 14-0 in front of their home crowd on senior night.
On way to win that victory trophy the way things are going right now for the Warriors.
Trips to the right side on 1st and 10. Bogner wants to throw. Screen pass set up. He has Heyman. Heyman grabs it over the 40. Heyman and chopped down at the 42-yard line. Good open field stop made. That was number 3, Logan Summit on the stop.
Yeah, ended up running into the back of Eli Chevalier, his lead.
The center.
Yep, getting out in front. And, that just, he was looking to get around him and just ended up kind of bumping into him, starting the momentum. But still, those screen plays are really giving Carey a lot of problems.
It'll be 2nd and 3. 2 left, 1 to the right. Shuffle motion left to right from the slot. Bogner going to take the snap and run it right side and had very little, if any, room. Maybe a gain of a foot.
Yep. But, but this is a perfect example. That should be no gain. They should have got nothing on that. But when he hit that little pile of humanity and he wasn't going anywhere, he spun off and leaned himself forward, and he got a yard. I know it's not a lot, but it makes a difference.
Ball at the 43-yard line. 3rd and 2 for the Warriors. Bogner has the snap, has a lead blocker, looking to run it, and he is knocked down in the backfield. It's going to be a loss of a yard on that play.
Yep.
And a couple Carey Blue Devils back there. Blankenmeyer and I think 66, Penwell.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Or it was 86, excuse me, Reed, Blankenmeyer.
I think one of the bigger problems is that when you're up like what Mohawk is and you get into a 2nd down and 3, 3rd down and 2 type situation, your gut instinct is you want to be a running football team, but that is running into the teeth of what Carey does well, defend the running game. They did a nice job there.
Mohawk forced to punt, and a pretty good one from Bogner.
Excellent.
Roll inside the 20 and out of bounds at the 15-yard line. So Bogner doing a nice job of flipping the field.
Yep.
Mohawk still leading 8:43 to go in the second quarter.
And I think, Carey's defense is saving them here a little bit because, again, if Mohawk scores on either of these last 2 drives,
they're really hurting.
They're really hurting with the way this offense is constructed. They've had 2 turnovers, and their defense has saved them out of it. Now it's going to be, kind of pertinent that this offense figures out a way to get 84 yards down the field and into the end zone. And they got to do it, while not giving Mohawk a lot of time left on the clock to be able to answer back.
Spotted at the 16, 1st and 10. And it's going to be Bose looking to keep it. Pushing right side, trying to turn the corner, not a lot of room.
Nope,
he's knocked down. No gain on that play as Bose tried the right side and was knocked down.
Well, I think if there's one thing that's pretty clear, Bose is a pretty darn good athlete, and he runs the ball well, but he's not going to outrun Mohawk to the edges, especially the defensive backs and linebackers who are good tacklers and move really well. And there was no real fooling Mohawk. They all saw it and they read it, and then he was just like looking for a hole to run up the field, but they were just kind of jogging along with him, waiting for him to make his cut, and they were on top of it.
Bose and Steen in the backfield. Bose sets up the throw. Near side has Puckett. Puckett grabs it but slips and falls.
Yep.
About the 22, 23-yard line. Just a quick stop there from Puckett.
Yeah, but that's just taking what the defense is giving them. I mean, they've got 2 receivers on that side. The outside receiver is getting tight coverage. The slot receiver, who's Dash Puckett on that play, they're playing 15 yards off of him. So they're like, forget it. All right, you know what? If you're going to go ahead and give us 6-7 yards, we're just going to take what we can get here.
Another big third down for Carey. 3rd and 4. Full house backfield, 3 backs and a 3-point. Bose turns, gives, Steen straight ahead. Falls
nope, he
over
kept
to
it.
25.
Bose kept it.
Oh, Bose kept it.
Yep.
And I think he's short, Jeff.
It's going to be
by
real
about a
close.
yard.
Yep. Gonna be close.
Oh, no, they're going to give it to him.
Yep. I was going to say, I mean.
It looked from here like he was short by a yard.
I wasn't sure where they spotted it, because he definitely got spun around. So I didn't know what they gave him in terms of forward progress, and it ends up working out to Carey. And again, under 7 minutes left on the clock here in the first half. For the Carey Blue Devils, they're running this thing down where they're like, we want to get a score on the board here and have no time on the clock. I mean, they're huddling up. They're going to take their time and just try to keep moving the chain slowly.
2 receivers near side, turns, gives, straight ahead, ISO.
Steen.
This time it is, Steen, the junior, 6'1",
They're huddling up.
240.
They're going to take their time and just try to keep moving the chain slowly.
Picks up 6 on first down. Near side, turns, gives, straight ahead.
And again,
ISO. This time
if they can get movement up front and kind of get the big bodies on Mohawk's defensive line out of the way, it gives them a real advantage because Mohawk's linebackers and secondary, they are strong and they're good tacklers, but they're not big per se. They're not a huge second tier of people. And in a size battle, Carey's going to win that when Steen's running the ball.
Trip Phoenix in a jet motion. They go to
Steen
Steen.
again.
Steen runs over a defender at the 40, falls down at the 40-yard line. But, man, a hard run by Eli Steen picks up the first down.
And you know what? Give credit to these defensive backs for Mohawk. They're sticking their head in. They know that the guy who's running at him has got 70 pounds, but
that was Patrizzi. I think Owen's feeling that one a little bit.
Yep, he was like, that kind of stunk,
Hit him a little lower.
He's shaking it off right now, but you can see there's no piece of him that's thinking about getting out of there.
One to the right, one to the left on first down. Toss play. It's Steen.
They got him this time.
This time it's gang tackle back at the 40-yard line, maybe the 41.
Started on that way. Garrett Reinhardt. He was, at that defensive line. He's playing the defensive end position, and he gets off the tackle, gets into the backfield. He gets one hand on him, and even though he wasn't able to kind of get a full clean hit on Eli Steen, he was able to just kind of keep him, hold him, and stretch him out until he got extra help to come over. So that was a good defensive play right there because it puts Carey 2nd down and 10, not ideal for them, like I said, especially if you can get a stop here.
Receivers to the right, I formation behind Bose. Bose fakes the handoff, wants to throw. 4 receivers, steps up in the pocket. He's going to scramble.
He got away from everyone.
In front. He's got the 50, 45, and Bose with a huge pickup with his feet.
Yep.
Nobody expecting that, but a ton of open space near side for Bose, and he just ran it right at the Mohawk sideline.
All of the receivers flooded to the one side of the field, so all the defense went there too. The entire secondary, because they were sitting back sort of in a zone coverage, there was no holes for him to even consider throwing the football. So he's like, well, I'm going to tuck and run, but I'm going to go in the other direction. Mohawk doesn't have anybody there. Once he got through the defensive line, a lot of space for Kyler Bose. Best run of the game for the team.
That'll stop the clock with 4:38 to go in the second quarter. Steen in the backfield takes a toss, looking for a block on the right side. Spin move at the 35, down at the 34. And Steen kind of starting to feel his groove here, Jeff. This Carey offense getting going. They're down 2 scores, but threatening here nearing halftime.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, this thing, they got down 14-0, but it's far from over because they are moving the football, running it. They just, for a reason unknown, they decided to throw the football and Bose threw a pick, and then the last one they had a fumble on a bad exchange. But if they can just keep doing what they're doing right now, they're going to get points on the board, and they're going to get back to playing Carey football here. 2
receivers right, slot left, Steen straight ahead.
Flag down late. That came in very late. It was a first down, probably got about 4 or 5 yards on the play, but there's a face mask going against Mohawk. So they're going to add to
far
it.
Side official.
Yep.
That's a 15-yard penalty that's going to put him in the red zone.
I got to be honest with you. I don't know how much – this is going to sound crazy, but Coach Merschman is even really that interested. The extra 15 yards, remember, they're down to 3 minutes, 52 seconds left on the clock, and I don't think he really wants to leave a lot of time on that clock in the first half. Because, again, they're going to get the ball to start in the second half. If he can get it to a 14-7 game and then get the ball to start in the second half, I think that plays better into Carey's game plan than if they give Mohawk another chance offensively.
Trip Phoenix splits wide left. I formation, power I in the
That's
backfield.
Dash Puckett.
Puckett straight up the gut. Fullback ISO driving the pile. He's inside the 10. And Puckett all the way down to the 8-yard line.
They did that against Colonel Crawford like crazy. They like when things weren't going well and Crawford felt like they were getting some stops. They started giving it to Dash Puckett and putting bodies behind him. And he just kind of he's 225 pounds himself, not an easy guy to bring down. And he just kind of was a little upright, and his guys behind him were just pushing him. And they were consistently getting 5 to 9, 10 yards running that play.
Warrior defense backs against the wall. Again, power I formation. Steen runs over one, goes down, late flag. He's down at the 3-yard line. Tackle made by Caleb Bish. But like I said, flag comes in late.
Yeah, I don't think it was actually – I think it was a placement flag, not a penalty flag, as weird as that is.
It is just a beanbag.
So they're going to go ahead and give Steen 5 yards. Knocking on the door of some points here for Carey for the first time in this ball game.
2:32 left in the second quarter. Magalese checks in for the Warriors. Extra linebacker. Full house formation. Bose, straight quarterback keeper, started right, comes back to the left behind the center, and he's knocked down at the 2.
Yep, got about a yard or so. Trying to kind of fool Mohawk, get him looking in the backfield. And actually, they'll give Bose probably a yard and a half. No, I guess they will put it down at 2. So, again, got about a yard on that play. But
second and goal, ball called to 2.5.
Yeah, but if you're the Carey Blue Devils, you're looking at, okay, I got 3 plays to get 2 yards with our running game. If they can't do that,
yep.
And this is, like I said, that, Merschman's looking at that clock. It's got 140 on it now. First half.
They flip sides, 2 slots to the
pitch.
right. Toss play, Steen, lead blocker, lowers the boom.
Got it.
And he is in. Eli Steen finds pay dirt for the first Carey touchdown of the night.
Yep, 2-yard run right there for Eli Steen. And again, we're down to a 1-score lead. Carey has done some good things. They figured it out defensively, and now offensively they finally get it down the field without shooting themselves in the foot. 2 first-half turnovers. This time they keep it all the way down the field, and Steen's in the end zone.
Geary on for the extra point. Kick up. Kick is good with 1:30 to go in the second quarter. It's Mohawk 14, Carey 7. Warriors with a little bit of time. We'll see what Coach Daniel wants to do when we come back.
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schieffer. Schieffer finds a hole at the center. Schieffer turns on the burners. Schieffer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schieffer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Winford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
Minute 30 on the clock here in the second quarter. Short kick, and coming up to grab it is Bish. Bish at the 20, finds the 25, 30, and down at the 33. Tackle made by 83. 33, Bryce Puckett.
Yep.
If there could be another Puckett.
Yeah, oh yeah. That's when you earlier you were like, oh, it's Bish, a name you'll hear a lot. I'm like, you'll hear Puckett an awful lot for Carey.
Mays.
Yeah.
Oh, late
Bryce.
flag.
Yeah, flag came in. It's going to go against Mohawk, so it'll back him up with 1:24 on the clock. I think they got him on the block in the back, so push him back. And I think, if my memory serves correctly, just the second foul in the first half. So pretty clean game. But those two both against Mohawk. 1:24 on the clock at the only 20-yard line. They got 80 yards in front of them. Does Coach Daniel want to dial up, something and see if he can get one of these receivers down the field again?
They've had success, and their playmakers have also had success tonight in the open field against this Carey defense. We'll see what they do.
This is the way to do it.
Heyman, a lot of open space, but he slips and falls. He had an open bubble screen.
He sure did.
But tripped up and probably lost a half a yard on that play. Man, he had a lot of room.
He sure did. Blocking in front of him was really good. I mean, both Drew Woodland and Bish, Caleb Bish, got out in front of their guys. Did a really nice job.
And now penalty.
Yep, we're going to see a dead ball foul called on
against Carey.
Yep.
Free 5 yards.
They'll give him 5. 57.6 seconds left on the clock here, so.
Ball at the 25-yard line.
Not a lot of time for Mohawk, and, that's the point, is that it's like, all right, well, what do we want to do here? Do we want to get aggressive or, and the truth is you got to look at it and say, would Coach Mershman start calling timeouts if they don't get anything here on second down?
Carey with 2, Mohawk with all 3. And they'll go trips left, tight into the right side. Bogner in the backfield with Magalis. Bogner at his 20, looks to throw, rolling left. Looking across the middle, incomplete.
Yep. Receiver fell down once again. Caleb Bish looking down the field. It's kind of, he's going across the body on there. It's not an easy throw to make. And actually, Bish is having to cut back because it's on the inside of him. And second play in the row, we've seen a Mohawk offensive player slip and fall.
3rd and 5 now for the Warriors. Ball at the 25-yard line. Clock stopped at 52.3. Stay tuned at the break. It is the Mizik Miller halftime show. Stats courtesy of Mizik Miller and Ken Standing Seam. Bogner in the gun. Sets up to throw. Now he's going to step up in the pocket. Going to run
near
side,
space.
30, 35. Bogner with a block. Bogner 45, 50. Hurdles a man. Down at the 45-yard line of Carey. And will Mohawk take a timeout?
That's 30 yards. Well, they don't need to yet. I mean, they'll get some time before the chains, get moved. So,
Great
but they are going to call
blocking.
it right there. There is the timeout.
Incredible downfield blocking by Kane Heyman and the rest of the receiving corps as Bogner got into open space, got to the 3rd level, and really making things happen here. With 43 seconds, Mohawk has a chance. We'll take a quick break and be right back. Tonight on WQEL and live online on the OH Report. Right below us, ball at the 45-yard line. Mohawk in Carey territory, looking at a 1st and 10, trips to the left side. Bogner wants to throw, has all day. Carey only brings 3, heaves it deep downfield, incomplete.
They sent both
Heyman.
Bish. Yeah, they sent Bish and Andrew Woodland both deep on that play. 3 defenders to defend 2 receivers on the deep passes.
They tried to deke Carey a little bit, try and sell the bubble screen and then streak him down, but Carey safety's not fooled. It is 2nd and 10, 36.3 on the clock.
Yeah, they double-teamed Bish, single-teamed Woodland. But those guys were all moving, and that's a change they've made. They've moved Trip Phoenix out to Woodland, and now they're double-teaming Heyman and Bish, both of those guys.
Heyman near side, 2 receivers left. Bogner bobbles the snap, has it, steps up, lets it go, near side pass, picked up by Heyman off the shoe tops at the 30, 25, goes down at the 24-yard line. Heyman grabbed it off the turf. We do have a flag down.
38-yard line.
Is that
ineligible
illegal substitution or a illegal man down?
I think it was on a legal man downfield potentially. So, yep. And that will go against Mohawk. So that was a great catch by Heyman.
Oh, man, on a beautiful comeback route.
Yep. Bogner drops the ball. It's a low snap. He drops it. But he's very calm. He just no problem. He goes down, picks it up. But the pressure starts to come, so he right away rolls out. And he can't throw kind of a perfect pass. But, I was thinking, I'm like, he ain't going to grab that. But he just go to show how good Heyman is. He went down, and he just snagged that thing, and he turned up the field. And that was going to give Mohawk a great chance right there. But 27.8 seconds left on the clock. A timeout going to be called by Mohawk now.
Why on earth would there be an offensive lineman downfield?
Yes,
pass block.
That's what I was.
It's not a screen. It's a normal pass play. What are you doing getting downfield?
The only thing I could potentially think is that a lineman realized the ball hit the ground, and when Bogner started rolling out, he thought he was going to run. So he just said, "Okay, I better start lead blocking." It's the only way it makes sense to me. But quite honestly, I'm trying to make sense out of something that is a little bit nonsensical.
Something that does make complete sense. And that's the Friday phone board with Davy Jones. Be sure and call him up after our game tonight. Davy Jones and the Friday phone board, 419-562-2222. Out of town, toll free at 1-888-843-0024. Davy looking for scores, highlights from around the area. Of course, the legendary Friday night phone board. 27.8 on the clock. Mohawk with the football and the lead. 14-7, ball at the 50. Bogner in the gun, has a back joining him. That's Magalis. Trips to his left side, tight end to the right. Tight end is Andon Klaus. Bogner claps, has the ball, steps up in the pocket.
Another deep one.
Deep ball, center of the field. He's got Heyman. Incomplete. Heyman was cut off by the safety. Coverage out there. That was Logan Summit.
Yep. They had Summit and Bubba Tanner both running with him. Those guys are looking for that deep throw, trying not to let either Heyman or Bish get over the top of them, or Woodland for that matter. I mean, any of these guys, they don't want them to get over the top. So they're dropping back bodies, and they're just sort of kind of corralling them, keeping them between both of them and hoping for the best. And Bogner's just throwing it up there as hard as he can, as deep as he can.
Showing off his arm.
Darn right.
3rd and 15 now for the Warriors. Ball at the 50. Carey showing blitz. They bring 3. Bogner again steps up, heaves across the middle.
Great catch.
What a snag.
Whoa. That is Caleb
Bish.
Woo.
A fingertip grab.
Wow.
Check that boy for Stickum.
Wow, that is on the fingertips. 23 yards downfield.
What a catch. Huge first down pickup for the Warriors, and they are in business with 14.7, ball at the 27-yard line.
I'll tell you right now, man, that is not an easy catch by any stretch of the imagination. He's coming over the middle. Defenders are following him, and he's able to just reach out. It's the pass is a little high, but it's all just a hands catch. I mean, he just goes up, just comes off the ground a little bit. Didn't really have to jump for it, but just had to give a little pop up while he's running full speed, and he just gets those fingertips and pulls it down. And, they got 15 seconds left on the clock right now, so Coach Daniels calling the timeout here because he, of course, wants to get another score on the board. He'd love to get a touchdown, but if at least minimally he would like to, get 3 points as, worst-case scenario. So, he's looking at it going, all right, I don't have timeouts left, so we got to be real smart about the plays that we're calling, the decisions that we're making, and if we're putting ourselves in a position to be able to get points before the end of this half.
Ball at the 27-yard line. Like you said, Mohawk out of timeouts. 1st and 10. Heyman wide right, 3 receivers left. Carey brings 3. Bogner steps up, going to let it fly in the center of the end zone. Incomplete, a lot of contact. but
Yeah.
no call.
Yeah, actually, if anything, that's going to end up going against. It would have went against Mohawk.
A player down.
Yeah, it's not going to go against anybody. But Caleb Bish undercut the defensive back who was just going for a pass that really Bogner was just throwing away. I mean, he's like, I got 8.8 seconds left on the clock. I think he knew my guy's not open, so I'm going to just throw it high, and if my receiver can make an exceptional catch, fine, but I don't think there's any way anybody's going to get to it. Either way, one thing to just point out, I wanted to throw it out there, Mohawk kicked one field goal on the season, 1 for 1, 28-yarder by Kirian, so a little out of range right now.
Ball at the 28, and now Carey will take a timeout.
Yep.
They still have one remaining. 8.8 on the clock. Mohawk 14, Carey 7. We'll take a break. You're listening to WQEL and watching live on.
With
though. 0.9 seconds on the clock.
So
they're going to wind it.
Oh, because he didn't go out on his own.
And that's going to do it. That's the end of the first half. Not how Mohawk wanted to see it, but they still go into the break leading 14-7 here in week number 9. Mohawk and Carey tied atop the N10, each looking to leave with sole possession of first place here in week 9. We'll be right back at the Ken Standings Team halftime show on WQEL.
Farmall. 100 years of can-do. 100 years of milestones. 100 years of family. Generation after generation, its legacy lives on. The one for all since 1923.
First Federal Community Bank is excited to offer the Ohio Home Buyers Plus program, and it's meant to offer an above-market interest rate to help the potential home buyer in their journey towards home ownership.
We've got great rates, especially for first-time home buyers. Here at First Federal Community Bank, we are here to make the home buying experience smooth and stress-free.
As a community bank, we're excited to offer this account to help fulfill the dream of owning a home. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Happy Halloween!
Every kid wants to grow up and live on a big farm, and that's what most kids around here.
We conclude tonight's performance with a rock classic from 1970, featuring CHS majorettes Maddie Bowers, Alex Garner, and Tate Pratchett. Bang your head as we conclude tonight's show with Mountain's biggest hit, Mississippi Queen. The Pride of Carey Blue Devil Marching Band is directed by Philip Miller with Assistant Director Linnell Lord and Matron Advisor Missy Ball. We would like to recognize the Carey School's administration commitment to excellence in the fine arts. Thank you for your attention this evening and continued support all year long. Good luck to both bands throughout the rest of the year and go Blue Devils!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Under the direction of Mrs. Lindsay Horn, Assistant Director Wyatt Price, and Major Advisor Shayna Price, please welcome to the field the Mohawk Marching Warriors. Welcome to the Marching Warriors' last home performance of the season. Tonight we are celebrating and honoring our seniors with the Senior Show. Get ready to hit the dance floor as we kick off the show with our first song that is sure to get you on your feet and grooving. Jam out with us to Maroon 5's Moves Like Jagger. For our next two songs, we're excited to welcome our junior high band members to the field. Please put your hands together and clap along to Lady Gaga's Applause.
Let's go, Pants! Before we end our show, the seniors would like to take a moment and say a huge thank you to Mrs. Horde.
They have each been in band since the 5th grade. Throughout the years, they have made many friends and many amazing memories. We will never forget the people we have met and the memories that you have made possible for us. So once again, we would like to say thank you so much, Mrs. Horde. To close
WBCO-WQEL.com, live online on the OH Report. I'm Josh Jones alongside Jeff Roberts here in week number 9. It's the Burkhart Farm Center Game of the Week from Mohawk. The Warriors lead it at the break 14-7. Halftime show brought to you by our friends at Mizik Miller as well as Ken Standing Seam. And Jeff, Mohawk with a hot start.
Yeah.
Kind of cooled off in that second quarter. A couple turnovers for Carey, but they bounce back. They get in the end zone. And like you said, they're very much in this ball game.
You know what? Mohawk had their opportunities to kind of probably put this game a little bit out of reach, because the truth is that they came out, scored fast early. They got both Bishes, both Caleb Bish, then it was Caden Bish. They got the touchdown, and then they threw the ball downfield again with Heyman. Caden Bish runs it in. They're up 14-0 fast. I mean, it took no time at all. And then Carey, in their attempts to get back in the game, threw an interception and had a fumble, and Mohawk couldn't get another score in. They get up 3 scores in this game. Things are probably looking at a very different complexion in the second half, but they were able to get that 1 score in the second quarter, and now they're going to start with the ball in their hands to start this half, and they are running the football effectively. 136 yards of rushing yardage in the first half. They don't throw the ball well, but it doesn't really matter if they can just keep pounding away, and if they can run the ball like that and put a stop to Mohawk's big plays down the field, there's a good chance that Carey's still in this football game and can still sneak out a victory.
Well, when you do things like that, that wears down Mohawk's defense.
For sure.
Their defense is, a lot of those same guys are on the offensive side of the ball. So they are constantly getting worn down. And when Carey is able to eat 6, 7, 8 minutes off the clock in one drive, that wears on you.
I think the other thing to keep in mind is that these guys who are, between 150 and 175 pounds, constantly having to tackle guys who are 225 to 240 pounds, it gets exhausting by the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
They start to wear down a lot, and even though they're maybe getting them down now, at some point in time, the 7-yard run's going to turn into a 21-yard run, because they're going to run through some guys along the way, or at least that's what Carey's certainly hoping for. So, I mean, the reality is that at this point in time, Mohawk's going to come out here. They got to figure out a way to scheme Carey off the field. And they got to get another score going. I mean, they want to get up 2 scores on this team. If they can stay up 2 scores on Carey throughout the game, it's going to put the Blue Devils in a lot of trouble. Where sooner or later, if you can get them deep enough in this ball game and they're down a couple of scores, they're going to have to start throwing the football, and that is not what they ever want to do. But as long as they're only down by 1 score, Carey can continue to play Carey football.
Well, and Carey's going to have the football to start this third quarter, and if you're Mohawk, that's got to be a big talking point in this halftime, that you've got to come out, you've got to answer the call here, and you got to get a stop.
They've got it. They got to figure it out. And again, it's hard to get a stop when the other team is running the way they're running the football right now. I mean, Eli Steen's leading the team 68 yards on 14 carries. But, I mean, Mace Puckett has got, he's got the pick up and run downfield after the fumble. That helped. I mean, but also, Kyler Bose has got 31 yards right now. I mean, there's other guys who are effective carrying the ball. Dash Bucket's only got 1 carry, but it went 9 yards. So everybody's sort of kind of moving, the ball a little bit. They're getting 6, 7 yards a pop, and that's putting, Mohawk with their back against the wall. The reality is that I think both teams are looking at it seeing missed opportunities, because I think if you're Mohawk, they're looking at it going, man, we had a 14-0 lead. They turned the ball over twice. We couldn't get the ball into the end zone. We could have this game out of reach right now. And I think Carey's looking at it going, look, yeah, they scored 2 early touchdowns, but then we went down the field. We were running the ball effectively down the field. Then we decided to silly throw the football, got through an interception, and then a drive later we had a fumble that turned the ball over. If we just cut down on those stupid mistakes, we could be up right now, or at least tied minimally, and looking at a chance to be picking up a lead here as they go into the second half. So both teams have got things that they got to feel good about and things that they don't have to feel good about. But ultimately, at this point in time, this game's completely up in the air still.
Halftime brought to you by Mizik Miller and our friends at Ken Standing Seam. Halftime stats. brought to you by those fine folks as well.
We'll start with Mohawk. We'll go with 8 carries, 43 yards rushing for Ben Bogner. Caden Bish, 2 carries for 8 yards. So as a team, 10 carries is it. 51 yards on the ground. Bish does have the touchdown run. Ben Bogner throwing the football, 7 of 15, 160 yards throwing, and he's got his 2 targets. Caleb Bish, 3 catches, 84 yards and a touchdown. Kane Heyman, 4 catches, 76 yards. They got 211 in total yardage at this point in time in the game, also dealing with about 30 yards in penalties. On the flip side, Carey Blue Devils, again, Steen, 14 carries, 68 yards. Mace Puckett, 26 yards on, really 1 carry, but then he's got a fumble carry and move down the field. Kyler Bowes, 8 carries, 31 yards. Dash Puckett, a carry for 9 yards. Bubba Tanner, a carry for 2. So looking at 25 carries, 136 on the ground. Again, touchdown run for them. Bowes throwing the football, 2 of 4 for 15 yards. He's got a 9-yarder out to Trip Phoenix, a 6-yarder Dash Puckett. So that's basically what they're looking at, 151 yards of offense. But they've got the 2 turnovers as well. So, again, they've been able to survive as a result of playing pretty darn good defense after the early scores from Mohawk.
Yeah, both offenses, both pretty efficient so far. We've seen Mohawk take a couple deep shots down the field. And Carey with this football to start the second half, I imagine, Jeff, they're going to look to grind it out.
Of course they
It's
are.
going to be a heavy dose of Eli Steen. They're going to look to melt some clock and tie this thing up.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no question about it. That's the reason why Coach Mershman was just kind of looking at it going, yeah, we're down 14-0, but the reality is we're down 14-0, and they're doing it through some really big plays. And if we can just stop the big plays and then get back to playing our brand of football, which is just running the ball, and right now at this point in time, when they got 130 yards of rushing yardage, that's enough for Coach Mershman to say they're not stopping us.
Exactly,
we're doing what we want to do here. So it's going to be interesting to see what Coach Daniel's able to dial up to kind of ebb the flow of what Carey was picking up momentum-wise there in the second quarter.
Week number 9 of high school football here on WQEL and live online on the OH Report. Around the area, Winford at Buckeye, Seneca East is at Bucyrus, Upper at Crawford, Clear Fork is at Highland, Ontario is at Shelby, Pleasant at Marion Harding, Ridgedale at Waynesfield Goshen, Crestline at North Baltimore, Elgin at Lima Perry, Arcadia is at Liberty Benton, Elmwood at Van Buren, Riverdale at Macomb, Lipsick at Arlington, and Ada at Pandora Gilboa. Just some of the area games, and of course all the scores from around the area coming up inside the Friday phone board with Davy Jones. Davy looking for scores, highlights, any shout-out. Of course, he'll have a trivia question from the 1897's Cleveland Spiders.
I love that team. I'll tell you right now. It's probably my favorite team in Cleveland history.
But, of course, the Guardians are on the field tonight. A big one against the Yankees, Game 4 of the ALCS. And
Not a pretty
Juan
start.
Soto hitting a 2-run home run in the top of the first. The Yankees lead the Guards 2-0. Guards coming to bat. Not what we wanted to start the game, but hey, the magic. We need it.
Well, they've been living on magic throughout the entire season, so see how it goes.
Getting set for the third quarter now from Mohawk. Week 9 of the Burkhart Farm Center Game of the Week. Always, if you miss a game, coaches show, or Friday phone board, check out the podcast page on WQEL.com. All the shows posted right there, as well as photo galleries, game recaps, anything you want to find for local sports.
And again, we're looking at just some of the other games in the area, and there's some competitive games happening tonight. So, we're getting to week 9, and it's interesting to see how some of the teams at this point in time, they are really thinking playoff push, and they are really trying to kind of clean things up and get themselves ready for, week 11, quite honestly, not just week 10. And then there are other teams that are sort of licking the wounds and saying, all right, it's been a long year, and, we're sort of kind of pulling into the home stretch right now, and we're going to start thinking about winter sports.
I was going to say, some teams are thinking basketball.
Yep.
Some are gearing up for season number 2 of the football season, and we look forward to a long playoff stretch. And this is the week, week 9, you really get a sense of where teams are going to fall.
I agree.
Are we going to be who's going to be hosting? Who's on the road? Where are they going on the road?
Yep.
What's the matchups potentially going to be in? So it's kind of a fun time, and all that's coming up inside the phone board. Mohawk kicking off to start the third quarter. Right to left on your radio dial. Here goes Carey. That's Phoenix. They're straight up and then cutting up the left side. No, that was Lucas Smith-Hayward, not Trip Phoenix. Up the left hash mark, gets it close to the 30, and that's where they'll take over 1st and 10.
Yeah, one of the disadvantages of having an N10 that's not super top-heavy, where the teams, we've got, 3 teams all with 1 loss in the league, and everybody has at least 2 losses on the season, is you are looking at a playoff where we could be looking at every team in the N10 being on the road.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the realm of possibility. I'm not saying it's a probability, but it's in the realm of possibility.
1st and 10. Blue Devils with the football. Motion man is Puckett. Puckett right to left. They go to Steen, straight up the gut on the ISO, and Steen picks up 4. Falling forward, Eli Steen, a good chunk on 1st down.
Yep. Such an advantage to be able to have a guy like Eli Steen on your team. Again,
that was the recipe for a state championship.
That's what it was.
And
you know what? And Steen was in 8th grade at that time. And we saw him 1 year later, and it was probably week 4 we started. They got a freshman who's 235 pounds who's playing running back, and you could see they were already rebuilding. It's like, all right, let's do it all over again.
This time he wants to throw, but a flag comes in.
He threw that as high, probably higher than he did deep on a deep pass. But it's going to be a penalty, a false start against Carey. And again, that's the type of stuff that Carey cannot do to themselves.
Right. They're not built for mistakes like that. Back them up because they're not a chunk, a large chunk play type of offense.
So they had a 2nd and 5, and with the way they're running the football, I think Coach Merschman said, let's take a deep shot here. That was going to be the game plan. They had Trip Phoenix going deep on man coverage. But now that they're in 2nd down and 10, I don't think he can go back to that play. I think he's got to go back to the bread and butter running game and see if he can get another 6-yard, 7-yard run here and see what happens.
Down.
Yep.
Receiver to the right side, they go to Steen. Steen on a trap, keeps his feet, plows over the 35.
6 yards.
That's 6 yards. So now a 3rd and 4 for the Carey Blue Devils. They have it at the 35, 36-yard line of Mohawk.
And don't make any mistake. I mean, while Carey is still in their territory, if they can get 3 yards here, I think they go for it on a 4th and 1.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know that's kind of dangerous because you're in your own space, but I think, if you're Coach Merschman, you got to have faith in your team and these backs to be able to pick up 1-2 yards when they need to.
Blue Devils break the huddle. Lone receiver right side, that's Trip Phoenix. Puckett goes in motion right to left. Bose has it, hands off Steen. Steen's got the 1st down, plowing over defenders, moving a pile. He's got the 45. And Eli Steen finding his groove.
You know what? And I'll be honest, they're doing a great job on that interior line. They are trapping down on defensive linemen, and they're basically just making the smaller backfield of Mohawk have to tackle Eli Steen. They're like, just don't let him have to run into the guys who are 290 pounds. Mm-hmm. Make the guys who are 150 pounds have to tackle him.
Yeah, Carey's offensive line doing a nice job moving bodies here to start the 3rd quarter.
Again.
They go to the fullback this time. Puckett.
Mace Puckett.
Puckett's got 11 on 1st down.
Yep. Mace Puckett.
Inside Mohawk territory. Ball, an 11-yard pickup. Ball will go to the 43.
In that stacked I formation there, he becomes the 2nd guy through, but they do the quick turnaround handoff, and he explodes the holes. He's about 185, so not quite as big. I mean, he's still decent size, but he's got a little bit more speed and hits the hole harder. And when you're used to the power guy, it's like, all right, let's change it up and get the guy who's going to hit the hole a lot faster, and you can see what happened there.
Clock rolling, 9:06 to go here in the 3rd. 3 receivers left, 1 receiver to the right, and now a timeout. Carey taking their first timeout. They were looking to spread it out there on 1st and 10, but Coach Merschman takes us first timeout, so we'll do the same. You're listening to WQEL and live online on the OH.
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schieffer. Schieffer finds a hole at the center. Schieffer turns on the burners. Schieffer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schieffer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
WQEL, Josh Stallings, Jeff Roberts with you tonight in week number 9. Carey going to spread it out. This time trips to the right side, tight end left. Bo's going to hand it off.
Steen.
It's Steen straight ahead, and he's got about 8, Jeff.
Yep.
This time down to the 35-yard line, and Eli Steen with a head of steam pushing that pile.
You can feel the
Man-child.
momentum of the game changing after a great first quarter from Mohawk and those big plays. Now it's starting to feel like this is turning into a Carey football game. It's felt like that. I felt it in the second quarter, really from the back half of the first quarter, and it's still going that way. Mohawk's going to have to do something different and change something up defensively.
Well, historically, 2 very physical programs.
Absolutely.
And it's been just that, and it's going to boil down to who wants it more, I think.
Yep.
Maybe who has the ball last.
Exactly. Dash Puckett takes that handoff straight up the middle.
That's going to be a
and
first
that's going to
down.
move that. But I think you're right. I mean, it's not that I'm thinking, oh boy, Mohawks now they're in trouble. They still have the lead, but this might turn into they're going to get punched in the face and they're going to have to return. And again, they're not going to do it in the same manner. Carey's throwing jab, jab, jab all the way down the field, and Mohawk was throwing haymakers looking for a knockout.
Power I. This time it's Steen to the left side. Short gain, maybe 3 yards. Call it the 30-yard line. And that's just power football.
Yep. And
Block the guy in front. The 2 lead blockers hit the first 2 available coming in the hole, and Steen falls forward.
And again, it's a tough spot to be in when you play Carey because now they are in Mohawk territory. They only got 2 yards there, but from here moving forward, they're going for it on 4th down. So if they can just keep getting themselves 2-3 yards at pop, they're fine with that. They'll do that all the way down the field as long as they don't implode.
3 receiver set. Toss play this time to Steen. Bo's lead blocking up through the C gap, and Steen, a gain of 5 up to the 25-yard line and a manageable 3rd down. 3rd and 2. Carey approaching the red zone.
And again, if you're Carey, like Eli Steen, he's had 1 carry in this game that didn't go for any yards. He's very consistent about getting something, a yard or 2. They need 2 right now, and they got 2 downs to get it. It's not like he's getting hit in the backfield and losing yardage.
1 to the left, 1 to the right. Motion man right to left in a slot. Bose fakes the handoff, keeps it. Straight quarterback keeper, and not a lot of room. I don't think he got it.
He didn't get it. You know what?
Be about
Probably got a yard.
Short.
Needed 2, so it'll bring up a 4th down and 1, but, Carey's going for it here.
Not a lot of continuity on that play. It kind of almost looked like a broken play, but
it did feel like a type of play.
Big 4th down here.
Carey was trying to kind of fool him, figuring even if we don't get anything, we know on 4th down we're going to go for it and we can just do what we've been doing. Again, that was what I was saying earlier when they tried to go for the deep pass before the penalty pulled it back. It was like, okay, 2nd and 5. We can take a different chance here. This is going to go to Steen.
4th and a long 1. They go to Steen straight up. I don't know that he got there.
It's going to be about spot of the ball.
Near side official runs in. He spots it.
He got a
Mohawk saying it is short.
He got a yard, but was it a full yard? It may have been
he needed a good 4 feet, and I think he only got 3.
Yeah, like it was.
Officials staring at it, but just bring them out and measure.
Yep. They're trying to eyeball it, and they're saying no.
They're not even going to measure.
Wow.
They just give it to the Mohawk Warriors. What a stop by the Warrior defense.
Boy, and that is something that I don't think Coach Merschman had any idea would happen, and Coach Daniels got to feel great about it. You know what? My team was able to go out there and get the stop needed, despite the fact that Carey was running the ball down the field without any problems. They were able to stop him before they got into the end zone. And now can the offense respond and get them up 2 scores again here in the 3rd quarter?
So a turnover on downs, that drive melts almost 7 minutes off the clock.
One thing you can say about Carey football, it moves fast.
Yeah. Trips right. Bogner handles the snap. Rolling right. Looking downfield. Lets it go into the flats and complete.
I will say this.
Comeback route. Looking over there for Woodland. Not there.
You know what? Since they made some adjustments defensively after a couple of big plays, all of Mohawk's passing yardage since then have come through pretty exceptional. Bish had a 23-yard catch, but it was a great play. You know what I mean? Like, Heyman had a great catch down the field. They got pulled back. I mean, but it's like, you know what? They've done a good job making the adjustments needed defensively, playing a little bit more of a zone instead of trying to man these guys up, which they can't do.
Bogner claps, has it, slings it out. High pass, caught on the bubble screen. Heyman looking for a block, can't find it, and he is met. No gain, maybe got a foot.
Yeah, very well played, Mace.
Way too slow.
Yep. A high pass to begin with, and quite honestly, Mace Puckett is out there, and Caleb Bish is trying to lead block, and Caleb Bish is actually a pretty darn good lead blocker most of the time. But that time, Puckett was able to get off of his block, just push him out of the way, and he was able to get Heyman before he was able to turn upfield.
So now a 3rd and 9 for Mohawk. Clock moving at 5:09 in the third.
Yep. Offense a little out of sync right now for Mohawk, so what they can do on a 3rd down and long.
Trips left. Bogner has it. He wants to throw. Has pressure in his face.
He's in
Bogner
trouble.
Escapes. Falling
down.
Lets
Bad
it go.
pass.
Intercepted. Picked off at the 32-yard line. 29, Brandon Tanner.
Yep. He was getting tackled from behind, and he tried to just let go of the ball anyway, and he couldn't put any juice on it. He just didn't have enough arm to get it downfield to his intended receiver because the tackle coming from the backside being brought down, Gavin Snyder, the senior, getting him around the ankle and dragging him down. And when that happened, ended up being kind of a lame duck, went right into the hands of Bubba Tanner.
I think Bogner might have been just trying to get rid of it, not really a receiver in the area.
Right.
And here comes Carey out onto the field. They have the momentum, trailing by 7. They turn, give Bose to Steen. Steen over the 30, down at the 27. Gain of a good 4 there. And Carey feels like they had a missed opportunity with their last drive. They get a quick 3 and out from Mohawk. And they get great field position here, deep in Mohawk territory.
Even better than a 3 and out because they couldn't punt it away. It was get the interception. They're sitting in pretty good territory right now for Mohawk, and Mohawk territory, that is.
Lone receiver left, Puckett in motion,
Phoenix.
Fling it out, Phoenix,
Ooh.
And a great catch over there by Trip Phoenix on a comeback route. Had one-on-one coverage with Mason Schimpf.
Yep.
And Bose put it on the money.
I got to be honest with you, Schimpf was playing pretty good coverage. He's in man coverage over there all the way. They have to put everybody else inside. He's just on an island, and he knows he doesn't want Trip Phoenix to get behind him. But he was watching Kyler Bose the entire way. He just gave a little bit too much cushion there. If he gives a half yard less cushion, he's able to step in front of that pass and get an interception.
3rd and 1. Power I. This time it's the fullback. No. Speed option. The ball's loose on the turf. The ball rolling near side, and I don't know if it got out of bounds, but they tried to go triple option.
Bose.
And Bose led Steen a little too far. The ball goes out of bounds, and now they're backed up 5.
Every time they try to get cute, it doesn't work out for them. That's like
They'd
I said,
have
and
been better
actually
off with the fullback dive.
Yep. But actually, I'm going to tell you right now, the credit on that play goes to Garrett Reinhardt. If you look at it, the problem wasn't a bad pitch. Reinhardt got there and got his hand on Bose and slapped his hand right as he was releasing the ball. That's what made it kind of get a little messy.
Big time play, 4 down territory now for Carey. Trips left. Bose wants to throw, pumps, deep shot into the end zone, in the backside. It is a jump ball. It's incomplete, no flags.
Yep.
Looking for Trip Phoenix down there.
Caleb Bish down there on coverage. And, Bish did a nice job of turning around, and it just became kind of a little bit of a hand fight down there. But because Bish had turned around and had an eye back on the ball, they were like, no, this is going both ways. And Mohawk gets that turnover. So, again, another mistake right there from Carey, and Mohawk is going to get another chance here. So what they Can they finally get that drive that they need right now?
Back-to-back big-time stands by the defense. Now it's the offense's turn. 1st and 10, ball at the 29-yard line. 2 receivers right, 1 receiver to the left. Bogner in the gun. Has a snap. Fakes the handoff to Magali.
That's a good run.
Bogner's got the first down and more. 45. Goes out of bounds at the 48-yard line. Biggest run of the night for Bogner.
I knew that they had to go to the running game a little bit. They just couldn't just keep chucking in terms of throwing the ball. But I also wasn't sure that, it's like if they just do traditional handoffs, I don't think they're going to go anywhere against the Carey defense that's very good. There, they faked the handoff to Caden Bish, and Bogner gets the hole on the left side of his offensive line to take off.
Bish in the backfield. No. Yeah, on the left hip. Bish joins Bogner. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Bogner steps up. He's going to run it. Again to the left side. This time the pressure gets to him.
Yep.
Maybe a gain of a yard. Carey bringing a little bit of a blitz.
Yeah, that one kind of
able to track him down.
Delayed quarterback draw. They're trying to kind of get him to think that they're going to throw the football, but that up front, they were bringing a run blitz at him, and they were looking at Bogner the entire way. So no way to be able to get around the edge with the way Carey had brought pressure up.
Caleb Bish, Kane Heyman go wide to the right.
Yep, they're stacking them over there, which is a little bit of a different look. Mm-hmm. Woodland on the other side.
Bogner, the play clock at 2, has the snap. He's going to run it straight up the gut. Bogner, spin move, keeps his feet driving. Bogner across the 45, and he's got enough for a fresh set of downs. Bogner to the 42-yard line. He emerged from that initial hit, and it looked like he was going to be down for a 2-yard gain.
That's what I thought.
Kind of spun his way out of the tackle, picks up the first down.
I thought the exact same. I was like, 2. Maybe he rolls himself out for 3. And he just kept those legs spinning, and Carey's having a hard time getting Bogner down.
Again, 2 receivers right, Heyman lone to the left.
I love the drive because it's not only moving yardage, potential for score, but it's also eating clock away, and that's not good for Carey.
Play clock at 4. Bogner has it, wants to throw, up in the pocket. Far side pass complete, I believe Bish over there.
And
he got the senior Caleb Bish, and he's got another first down.
He got free for a little bit of extra yardage there, too. Nice job.
Bogner throwing on the move, finds Bish, moves the sticks, and Bish with about 5 yards after the catch.
Yep.
That'll stop the clock with 2:04 to go here in the third. Stack them to the left this time. They check the sideline. They're going to change the play.
And no rush right now for Mohawk. I mean, even though they're a little more of the high-powered offense, they're like, all right, we've got the lead, and we're finally getting some momentum going here.
At 1, Bogner has the snap, steps up to throw, far side one-on-one, a jump ball, defender jumped way too early, and a flag comes in.
That, I'll tell you right now, the coaches for Carey are going to lose their mind because that ball looks like it's thrown pretty far out of bounds. I don't know that that's a catchable pass. We're going to see the replay on the OH report. They've got him in a tight window double coverage.
It would have been close.
He would have had to jump up for it. It was Woodland, the intended receiver down there.
They're going to get 6 Smith Hayward for the
got
flag.
Either him or Boston Ritter, the 2 guys around him. But they will get Carey the 15-yard pass interference penalty, so Woodland draws it. And that's a bad penalty because he's in the middle of double coverage. There's pretty much no chance right there that he's going to be able to catch that pass. But sure enough, Mohawk moves the chains.
They take a shot,
and
it works in their favor.
Sometimes
First
it works.
and 10. High snap. Bogner fakes the handoff.
He's got space.
Moving to the left side. Bogner. He's got a block on the outside. Lowers the shoulder. Looking for the pylon. Bogner is going to be marked down. No, he's in.
Yeah.
Touchdown. The official in the center of the field came in and signaled it. Ben Bogner puts Mohawk up 2 scores.
Yeah, sideline official, he was kind of still downfield a little bit, so he wasn't right there at the pylon. So he was like, I don't know if he got in. He was probably only at the 5-yard line. So he was pointing to the middle saying, hey, can you give me help? Did he sneak in or did he get knocked out of bounds? Sure enough, just a great run. That was good blocking up front by that offensive line. They gave him the corner, and then it was just Boger's physicality and speed that gets him into the end zone.
Bogner put all 185 pounds into Boston Ritter there at the 2-yard line, plows over him into the end zone for 6. Extra point attempt is good for Geary, and it's 21-7 with 1:48 to go in the third. We'll be back on WQEL and the OH.
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schieffer. Schieffer finds a hole at the center. Schieffer turns on the burners. Schieffer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schieffer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
First Federal Community Bank is excited to be entering its second year of media sponsorship for local nonprofits.
We've partnered with Crawford County Now to offer nonprofits a podcast and a radio spot.
First Federal Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Station control.
Phoenix kicking off for the Warriors, number 20, Braxton Frisch.
Frisch to kick off for Mohawk. As the Warriors lead it 21-7 here in the third quarter. Big time drive and a touchdown to give them the 2-score lead. Ball fielded at about the 18-yard line. It is Smith Hayward. Up center of the field, goes down at the right on the right hash mark at the 36.
Smith Hayward went down hard, and they are yelling. They're going to need to get a trainer out there for him. The way he got hit, he slammed down to the ground. I mean, the shoulder hit him right in an arm or a chest or whatever. And the moment he hit the ground, he threw the ball forward. I mean, they were literally immediately yelling, "Get out here right now!" So. Smith Hayward going to be down. Hopefully he's going to be okay as they check in on him.
Training staff out there checking on the young man. Minute 44 to go in the third quarter. We'll take an injury timeout. You're listening and watching on the WQEL and the OH Report.
Farmall. 100 years of can-do. 100 years of milestones. 100 years of family. Generation after generation, its legacy lives on.
A massive possession for the Blue Devils.
I don't think this is going to get Carey still out of who they want to be. They still got time on the clock. Mm-hmm. He's not going to – Merschman's not going to rush it.
Bose hands off to Steen.
Oh,
Steen,
ball's out.
Yep, fumbles it on the far side. Ball
and
still
Mohawk's got
Mohawk
it.
Saying they have it. It was kicked around over there, and Mohawk saying they have the football. Officials – Is Carey going to keep possession?
It looks like
they will.
Yep.
Steen had it knocked out.
Everybody on Mohawk said they had it, but the officials said no, that you do not.
Mason Schimpf had a chance, but he was shoved to the side, and Carey able to jump on it. But it's still going to be 2nd and 16.
Yeah. Well, and
Either
I just
way,
said,
a big play for Mohawk.
I still think Carey's going to be who they are because they got a lot of time on the clock. But a 2nd and 14 puts them in not ideal Blue Devil playing territory.
Bose wants to throw.
He's
Pressure.
Run.
Rolling left. He's hit. Picks up 5. Actually give him 6 or 7 on that play. Bose able to extend it with his feet. gets them back to the original line of scrimmage, but still not built for 3rd and 9.
Nope, not ideal. So, and again, they are in their own territory. So if you're Mohawk, it's not even just you don't want to give them a first down. You don't want to give them even a 7-yard pickup because I think they go for it potentially on a 4th down and short. They already did that once. Now, they didn't convert, but I still think it's a sign of the way they view the game.
Game clock rolling down to 31 seconds, play clock at 8. Bose in the gun, Steen on his left hip, Puckett in motion right to left. Has the snap, turns, gives to Steen. Steen straight up the middle.
Oh, he got the first down.
And Steen with a head of steam. He's got the 50 and a first down.
Yep. And again, I mean, this is what I'm saying. I mean, I don't think they will ever just get away from who they are.
They have
they're
such
only
confidence
down,
in it.
Yeah, they're only down 2 scores. They know, look, if we can go down the field and score here, we get a stop, we get the ball back. We got time. I mean, there's no reason to rush it at this point. They've got 8 seconds left here, and they're going to rush up and try to get one more play in the 3rd quarter.
Game clock at 3. Snap to Bose. Bose turns, gives to Puckett. Or no, that was Steen again.
Yep.
Steen fights his way to the 46, and that will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Mohawk 21, Carey 7, but the Blue Devils are driving here, and they will have the football when we come back to start the 4th quarter. You're listening to WQEL and watching live online on the OH.
First Federal Community Bank is excited to be entering its 2nd year of media sponsorship for local nonprofits.
We've partnered with Crawford County Now to offer nonprofits a podcast and a radio spot.
First Federal Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Josh Stallings, Jeff Roberts with you tonight on WQEL. We're watching live online on the OH.REPORT. Start of the 4th quarter here from Mohawk. Carey with the football at the Mohawk 46, trailing by 2 scores, 21-7.
Going to be a big 4th quarter here for both these teams. Game's not over yet, even though Carey down by 2 scores.
2 left. Carey wants to throw. Bose near side, incomplete. Schimpf in coverage. Intended receiver was Trip Phoenix.
Every time, the Carey coaching staff decides to say, we want to throw the football in this down, I'm always surprised because I feel like if I was Coach Mershman, I'd be like, why? What are we doing here? Let's not get cute because they've got 7 passes for 20. They've completed 3 of them for 20 yards, and they have an interception in there. So it is just so not who they are. But again, 3rd down, they feel like they can probably get 6 yards over 1 or 2 plays.
Power eye, double tight. They go to Puckett. Puckett
Mace
runs
Puckett.
into a wall.
They got him at the ankle.
Bounces left, and he is wrapped up and brought down. Tackle made by Garrett Reinhardt. Big stop there. But like you said, Jeff, 4-down territory. It is 4th and a long 3.
I'll tell you right now, Reinhardt, when this game's over, he's a lineman, and sometimes they don't get a lot of publicity. And you know what? Mohawk fans, pat him on the helmet. He has played a heck of a football game here tonight. Hasn't always been easy with them running at him, but he's made a lot of big plays.
Receivers come in. Puckett's check out.
They're looking to
Bose
pass.
wants to throw near side.
He got it to him.
And I think he's got enough by a yard.
Yep, he does.
Bose
ran the route where he needed to go.
Big time throw by Bose. Completes it to number 11, Chase Stone. Stone's first reception, crossing pattern, and a contested catch, and a great one made by Stone.
Absolutely. Stone, a big body, 200 pounds, just blocks off the defender. And Bose with some pressure coming at him, put it in a spot where his guy could catch it. And again, good route ran just past the first down marker.
Again, Blue Devils in a power eye. Bose turns, gives Steen straight ahead. It's got the 35, but that's it. Gain of 3. And they'll take it.
And I think that's part of where Mohawk has to think is that it's like they want to get a stop here, but even if they can't completely stop Carey, they just want to make them have to earn every yard, make them eat clock, so because this is a team they're not going to score fast probably. So if they can, make them waste five minutes to go down the next 35 yards, that would work for Mohawk.
Bose fakes the handoff, throws into the flats, incomplete. Looking over there for Dash Puckett.
Yep. He had
had
a step on the defender, but not a great angle, not an easy angle for Bose to be able to throw it from where he was standing, and he led him too far as a result.
So 3rd and 7, 10:27 to go in the ball game. 4-down territory for the Blue Devils. Blue Devils need points here to stay in at Power I. Turns, gives, Steen, 2 blockers in front, upended. Steen gets close to the 30. They'll spot it at the 31. So now it's going to be about 4th and 3. Patrizzi going head-to-head with Steen, 130 pounds versus 230.
And Patrizzi got up and was screaming at the world like, you see what I did right there?
He wants all the smoke.
You got nothing on me,
He's hurting a little bit. Patrizzi with a little bit of a limp, but that kid's not coming out.
Nope.
4th and 3.
Here we go.
Heavy formation again. This time they go to
Puckett.
Puckett spins, falls forward. He's got the first down.
Yep.
Tackle made by 64, Garrett Reinhardt again. But another first down for the Blue Devils. They're still in this ball game. Clock moving. We're down to 9:37.
Please understand for the listeners, Dash Puckett, if he's not on a team that has Eli Steen,
he's a premier back.
He's a stud. Like he's no joke. He's just a big blocker right now, but now he's special too.
Blocking again here for Steen, and this time Steen picks up 8 yards. Off tackle, Steen bouncing it out, picks up 8 on first down. It'll be 2nd and 2. 9:05 to go in the ball game. Carey pushing deeper into Mohawk territory.
And again, this is where Coach Mershman sometimes gets a little more creative. 2nd down and short.
Power I turns, gives Puckett straight up the gut. Not a lot of room. Tried to bounce it left, and he'll be short of the first down. Or no, they're going to move it.
Yep, they got it.
He got just enough.
Yep, needed 2, got him. So
the depth perception apparently is a little bit off here.
It's the angle.
It's the second time I thought it was about half yard short, and they had it by a half yard.
Right. At the 15-yard line now, under about 8:35 on the clock.
Carey a little bit of a hurry up.
Oh, Dash Puckett got it, and they ran right past him. He goes big yards, about 9.
He was kind of caught up at the line of scrimmage, kept the feet moving, bounced it left side, and he gets to the 6-yard line.
But watch the defense, who he's standing there. And
Reinhardt.
And Garrett Reinhardt was staring in the backfield at Steen, and he never turned and looked at him. He was standing right next to him.
I don't think he realized that Puckett, had the ball.
He did not.
Bose.
That's Dash Puckett again.
Puckett up the gut on an ISO. He is knocked down at the half-yard line.
They go 5 on that one.
That'll stop the clock briefly. Fresh set of downs for Carey.
Again, we're at 8-minute mark right now, and Carey knocking on the door, making it a 1-score game once again. Mohawk up by 14.
Warriors looking to hold, backs against the wall. Carey, power
Steen.
I, Eli Steen, right side, he's in for 6. Touchdown, Carey. He is just so hard to stop. Not only at 240, but you get a couple of lead blockers out in front. And Eli Steen and this Blue Devil offense, they are a wrecking crew.
I think this is
one-score game.
The reason why throughout the entire game we've never felt like, even though Mohawk has been leading, they've led this entire game, and they've been up by 2 scores a couple of different times. It's never felt like it was completely out of reach.
Geary's extra point attempt is good. It is 21-14 with 7:44 to go in the ball game in week number 9. Mohawk with the football when we come back.
First Federal Community Bank is excited to be entering its second year of media sponsorship for local nonprofits.
We've partnered with Crawford County Now to offer nonprofits a podcast and a radio spot.
First Federal Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Supply.
14 your score here. 7:44 to go in the ball game. Short kick going to be fielded by Heyman. Heyman keeps it at the 35, still going. And I think a couple Blue Devils thought he might have whistled for the fair catch. But Heyman gets it up close to the 40 in good field position here for Mohawk to start this drive.
Very strange. He had it, and he just he took like 3 steps forward. He never ran. He just kind of walked together, three steps, let Carey come down. And I was like, gosh, what's he even doing? Is he going to run? And then he took a hit and then spun off of it, and then he took off. And it was like, okay, well, that's a different technique. But
whatever works.
Whatever. Get it out to the 40-yard line.
Over on our sister station tonight, Jared Moore, Tim Byrie bringing you Galleon and River Valley. It's Galleon 28, River Valley 13. Bogner in the gun. He is going to hand it off. That's Bish.
Nice run.
Bish breaks a tackle over the 45, pushing for the 50. Goes down just short at the 49-yard line. Caden Bish with a nice carry there on first down. Bring up second and short.
Yep, Caden Bish. He's no joke right there. They had him around the waist, but he just kept driving those legs. And again, second down and 1, but look at how slow this play is coming in. They're gonna eat down this clock. They got 17 seconds on the play clock.
Coach Hawkins, Coach Daniel definitely going to eat all of this. 2 right, lone receiver to the left. Bish in the backfield with Bogner.
Carey going to expect a run here, so they're
Carey
coming at him.
brings blitz. Off the edge, and Bogner straight keeper, hit and dropped by Lewis Watkins.
Yep.
But he picks up enough for the first down.
Yeah, they brought the pressure from the outside, both sides. But Bogner stayed enough close to the inside there that didn't matter.
Yep.
And
they blitz off tackle. He was running between the tackles, picks up enough.
Yep. And again, they're just going to eat down this clock as they're under 7 minutes left, and they are in Carey territory now. So just barely, but good start right now for Mohawk.
Play clock at 12. Bogner will watch and let it wind all the way down. Takes the snap with 3. Bogner steps up to throw. Now he's going to roll right. Still looking.
Got some space.
Open man. It's Heyman. Slips, falls down, but he's going to be right at the marker.
I think he's got
enough
he's
for
got
a
it.
first. It will. That'll move the sticks. Good route, good throw by Bogner.
Tell you what, that they're going to have some conversations here about the cleats and the the landscaping here on the field. A lot of slipping, but still a great route by Heyman. And Bogner just using those legs on the rollout, but always looking downfield, finds his receiver, moves the chains again.
Things cooling down, getting a little slick here in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
But really, Jeff, for week 9, this field looks beautiful.
Oh, it's fantastic. Absolutely. And now they're down to 7 seconds on that play clock. Changing the play, but probably not, just stopping things.
Bogner has it, pumps, steps up. Still with the football. Ben rolling, and he's just going to
throw it out of bounds.
Chuck it into the Mohawk sideline. Stops the clock, but, he didn't turn it over.
And actually, it's funny because coaching staff just looked at him and said, we love what you're doing in terms of the fact that, Bogner has learned through 3 years that it's okay to give up on a play. Don't throw a bad pass. But coaching staff said, in this scenario, run up the field with it, even if you get back to the line of scrimmage and fall down. Let's keep that clock running. Incomplete pass, not as good.
2nd and 10 now for the Warriors. Bogner in the gun with 2 receivers to his left. Bish in the backfield.
He's going to
keep
keep
the
it.
handoff, keeps it. Bogner running right, hit from behind, gets across the 30, goes down at the 29.
Good run.
Yep. sets him up for a 3rd and short.
Yep.
And that's a lot of faith in your quarterback right there to make a play.
Absolutely.
They had pressure coming off the edge. It was 30 Carter Bame. Pressure was picked up nicely, and Bogner able to pick up a good chunk of yardage.
And again, gets about 7. They're in 3rd down. It's a big 3rd down, so we'll see. They keep it in Bogner's hands and let him run again.
An extra D lineman comes in for Carey. Bame runs off late.
And they are consistently doing the hard count, see if they can get Carey to jump. Got 5 seconds on the play clock here. There it is, Bogner.
Snaps it with 5. Bogner straight ahead, broke a tackle.
And he laid that arm out. He's going to be close.
Enough.
Man, he's going to be close, depending on the spot. I think they're going to give it to him based on the spot on this official on this side. I think he needed 3.
Again, they're just going to eyeball it.
Yep.
Why measure?
Yeah, such a waste of time.
You'd think. Well, he is going to take an official timeout.
Hey, there we
bring
go.
the chains.
This is, you know what, this spot's going to be really interesting, but I'll tell you right now, give Bogner, that senior credit. He's going down to the ground, and he fought for the extra yard at the end, but then he leaned out and he put that arm out there with the ball in hand. And, I was like, oh, that was a smart little play to pick up a half yard, and it might be the difference of a 1st down.
In a pivotal moment in the game.
Absolutely.
Carey with a ton of time left. 5:03 on the clock. They get a stop here, get the ball back.
Plenty of time, yep. Again,
Mohawk.
It will be 4th down. They can still go for it.
Mm-hmm.
See what happens.
Stretch it out here. And
bring out the index card.
Looks like it's enough.
Oh, he's going to say.
No, it is not. They are just short inches.
Yep.
They're going to stretch it. They're going to use the chains to spot the football then.
We're looking at it.
Tight.
He's basically down to a chain link.
Yeah.
That's it. But you got to assume that even though Carey is very good at run defense, you got to go for it here if you're Mohawk.
4th and inches.
5:03 on the clock. Remember, they got the 25 seconds there on the play clock as well. When that thing gets spotted and they want to start running it, they're going to do it. You can do a hard count a couple of times too. See if you can just get them to jump.
Because Carey, they got to be ready to fire off the ball.
You're darn right. Kind of falls on a big body in the middle right there. Garrett Bowes, 6'1", 255 for Carey. He's right over center.
Play clock and game clock start to wind. Inside 5 minutes to go. Play clock down to 20.
Gavin Snyder, the other interior lineman at 225. And here comes the bodies walking up with 12 seconds on the play clock, under 5 minutes on the overall clock.
Bish splits wide to the right. Full house backfield behind Heyman,
It will be Heyman on the carry.
Heyman gets
Spin
the carry
move.
straight up the gut, bounces it outside.
It's a foot race.
Switches hands to the corner. Heyman at the pylon. He
got
for
it.
6. Kane Heyman, what a play call. Goes straight up the gut. Patrizzi going crazy on the sideline. Heyman took that straight up the gut, bounced it outside, and finds the pylon. What a score for Mohawk.
We literally said a little bit ago, they'll sometimes put Heyman in the backfield. They don't do it a lot, but they'll do it occasionally. They did it there in the most crucial of moment, a 4th down and a link to go. They said, we're not going to even do a quarterback sneak with Bogner, which is what I was kind of looking at. They said, no, we're going to give it to the deep back. We're going to put 2 guys in front of him, and Heyman, just a monster. He's got the speed. He's got the power. He got through that hole, and then he does a beautiful spin move, and that foot race to the corner. You see why he's special.
Big-time players step up in big-time games. Heyman with the touchdown, and it is 27-14. On to attempt the extra point is Brant Kirian. Caleb Bish will hold it. Heyman was a little slow to get off the field as he is making his way to the sideline now under his own power. Just think maybe tweaked an ankle there.
He's been fighting through injuries throughout the entire season.
Coming back from a dislocated knee. Didn't play last week. Neither he or Caleb Bish played against Upper, and as we know, they dropped that game. Extra point attempt is up, and it's no good. He hooked it left. So it stays 27-14, 4:29 in the 4th quarter. Carey with the ball when we come back.
First Federal Community Bank is excited to be entering its second year of media sponsorship for local nonprofits.
We've partnered with Crawford County Now to offer nonprofits a podcast and a radio spot.
First Federal Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Here on WQEL and live online on the OH Report. It is week number 9 and 10 action here between Mohawk and Carey. Warriors lead it 27-14 over the Blue Devils.
That was huge. And again, for Carey with 4:29 on the clock, this ain't good for them because they're going to have to figure out a way to get something big to happen for them.
Down 2
Not
scores.
Easy.
Scoop it up at the 20-yard line. Far side, it's Phoenix. No, it is 12. That is Ritter.
Yep.
Boston up over the 25 to the 27. And Patrizzi is down.
Yeah, that.
Holding his right ankle. Patrizzi, he's been hit hard a few times tonight. He's delivered a few hard hits.
Yep.
And
kind of a
he's
heart
gonna be
soul
sore.
type of a player. When you know, the other guys in the team can never complain about having to tackle somebody when Patrizzi never backs down from a battle.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not the type of guy they want to lose. But the reality is that at this point in time, you know, Mohawk just has to really just kind of keep Carey to where they're at right now, which is don't give up a big play. And, you know, as long as they do that, they should be in pretty good shape right now. But, again,
You
know,
cannot get beat deep.
Yes, exactly. Don't let anything loose. And Patrizzi's going to pop up, and he's going to jog off the field. He's actually trying to run back to he's like, I'm ready to play.
He's good.
So,
Patrizzi, they list him at 5'9", 160.
I love it.
I
love it. I don't care what anybody
Whatever.
says. I always like
he
for,
plays like he's 7 foot.
Josh, for you and I, we love actually having proper heights and weights, but I just like just lie. Like,
Yep.
like, why not? Who cares? There's no rules against it.
He'll have to sit out a play here. Bose in, wants to throw, steps up, now scrambling,
And he
heaves
will
it
throw.
downfield, incomplete.
And you know
Looking
what?
over there on the far sideline, had a man.
Yep. Little
but
breakdown defensively.
Bose kind of off balance when he let it go, and looking over there for 11, that's Chase Stone.
They
his second target.
They ran a receiver deep, and everybody kind of went with him. And then there was just kind of one short linebacker who just kind of stayed at the 10-yard mark, and Stone got behind him. He was probably at a 15-yard spot. They're just kind of lucky that Bose misfired after kind of running around free for a while, because that would have been not only a first down, but would have probably picked up a good 20, 25 yards and then some.
2 receivers left, I formation,
Oh,
and it's a reverse pass. Looking near side, pressure,
Phoenix.
rolling, trip Phoenix in the backfield, heaves it. It's a jump ball, and it's incomplete.
Yep.
Went into the Mohawk sideline. A reverse pass. We know that Phoenix has the ability to throw the football, but he had pressure right away, and that play just never really developed.
Yeah, well, his intended look is Eli Steen, who's swinging around out of the back. Like, he's got the initial handoff, and the idea is he's going to come down the sideline. But they picked him up right away, so Phoenix was like, well, I can't go there. So now he just started kind of looking around, but the pressure came from the backside, so he had to use his speed to get away from him, and then he's just trying to stop and throw across the body. But the throw out of bounds is probably the smart move.
Phoenix now splits near side to the left. He's in trips, lone receiver to the right. Bose wants to throw, goes backside, pass is complete. He's got Stone.
Yep. Stone's a big, tall receiver, and he's going to get a first down. No, that is not. That's Bryce Puckett. Excuse me. Bryce Puckett, an even taller receiver. They got him at 6'7". So they threw it high, but no problem. Moves the chains.
Game clock, though, running, and it is down to 3:50.
Yep.
Bose has a shotgun snap, steps up to throw, has pressure, rolling right. Bose still
gonna
with
run,
the football,
run out of
tucks it,
bounds.
and scampers into his own sideline after a gain of about 5. Maybe even shorter, call it 4.
I think they'll give him 3, actually, the way they're spotting it up. So I was with you at first. I thought they was going to get the 5, but they just kept backing it up.
Each team, or excuse me, actually, Mohawk with 3 timeouts, Carey with just 2. Game clock stopped at 3:40. Puckett splits wide to the right, 3 receivers near side to the left. Steen in the backfield with Bose. Stays in the block. Bose wants to throw. Has time.
Yep, got
Lets
crossing
it glow.
pattern. Oh, picked off
And
by
it's intercepted
Patrizi.
on the far side. Ball was tipped. Patrizi comes down with it.
It went right off the hands of Mace Puckett, who did a crossing route. They did the X routes as the bull. It was Patrizi and Bryce Puckett just crossing patterns, and Puckett had space.
Unintentional rub route.
Yep.
They tried. Patrizi got caught in the mix, but that helped him. He then got caught up behind Puckett. Ball tipped in the air right into Patrizi's hands.
Yep.
And that is the 3rd turnover for the Mohawk defense. And they have the football with a 2-score lead, 3:34 on the clock.
I'll tell you right now, it is just, unfortunately for Carey, the mistakes have just, compounded throughout the game, and it's going to cost them this game in the end because, there's 3:34 on the clock, and as long as Mohawk doesn't do anything silly here, they're going to eat this clock down to nothing.
2 receivers right. Bogner has the snap. Running straight up the gut, maybe a gain of a yard. And they are not going to take any chances.
And again, they don't really need right now to get themselves a first down or even a touchdown. They just need to go and eat this clock down. I mean, they're going to get it down to under 2 minutes.
Carey's not taking a timeout.
Nope, because they need to keep them. They're going to punt it down, and they're going to make Carey go, make them go 85 yards with less than 2 minutes left on the clock, and then they're going to have to kick an onside kick.
And that's with Carey not being built to score like that. I'm surprised Mershman isn't taking a timeout now. 2nd and 8. Play clock down to 2. Has a snap. Fakes the hand.
Oh, they got him
Bogner
around the ankle.
Again. Maybe got a foot.
That is a trip up if there ever. Bubber Tanner got into the backfield there. And
there
is the timeout that you were asking for.
Takes his second timeout with 2:41 to go in the ball game. 27-14, Mohawk, the lead and the football. Josh Stillings, Jeff Roberts with you tonight. We'll be right back on WQEL and the OH Report. Up here for Mohawk, but like you said, Jeff, they don't necessarily have to score or get a first down. They just need to keep melding the clock.
Absolutely. They're going to make, I would run the ball again here and just make them use another timeout. Look, don't give them time. That's for sure.
Trips right. Bish in the backfield with Ben Bogner. Bogner at the 40.
He is going to run.
47,
he's got space.
Space at the 40, 35,
so smart.
and slides down inbounds. Bogner with a ton of room, and the senior leader wisely slides down inbounds. A huge high five from head coach Eric Daniel. What a play by the senior.
Oh, Coach Mershman has got to lose his mind for Carey because, he calls that timeout going, all right, fine, look, let's get the ball back. And then he just lets up a huge run around the edge there, and now he's just going to have to let it, melt down a little bit. So, it's going to be really tough. He's going to have to burn 2 more timeouts,
and he doesn't have them.
But he's only got one left, so that first down is huge for the Warriors. Absolutely huge.
Bogner sends 2 left, 1 to the right. Play clock at 2. Has it. Bogner straight up the gut. Met after a pickup of a yard. Falls forward, but just keeps it going. Now a timeout taken by Carey.
Yeah.
That's their final timeout.
That's their last one.
Minute 59 to go in the ball game. Mohawk up 2 touchdowns, 27-14. We'll be back right after this. WQEL and live online on the OH Report. Josh Stillings, Jeff Roberts with you.
Yep, with 2 minutes left on the clock, Mohawk, they've got a couple more snaps here, and this clock's going to get down inside of a minute left before Carey's going to touch the ball again. So
if they can touch the ball again.
I mean, that assuming that Mohawk doesn't get doesn't get a first down, because the first down ends it.
Carey and Mohawk here in week number 9. Game clock is reset to 2:01.
There's
Bogner keeps it, gets over the 30, down to the 29-yard line. Gain of about 5 on second down, and it'll bring up 3rd and 4.
Tell you what,
game clock winding down to a minute 45.
Ben Bogner has 100% become the he's the class of the league right now as a quarterback, because just not only is it his throwing ability, but you just saw right there, defender gets him in the backfield. They got him around his legs, but they couldn't bring him down. And there he goes 4 yards forward, and now they're just going to sit here, and it looks like now Coach Daniel is probably going to take a timeout with 1 second left on the play clock, just because he can, and there it is.
They'll stop it with a minute 14. First timeout taken by the Mohawk Warriors. Of course, stay tuned after our game tonight. Davy Jones getting set for the Friday night phone board. Call him up. Davey, looking for your scores and anything you want to talk about in the wide world of sports, 419-562-2222, or toll free out of town, 1-888-843-0024.
Good laugh. We've been joking about Owen Patrizzi being that 160. They're just showing me a little bit ago last year's roster, where they didn't decide to lie about him, and they had him at 126 pounds. So either they embellished a little this year, or he had one heck of an offseason of lifting and eating.
Steaks and eggs.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, he carb loaded big time. So good for him.
He's been an absolute dog here tonight. He can put whatever he wants on the
darn right
roster
he can.
sheet. Minute 14 to go in the ball game. Mohawk looking to escape and stay atop the N10. Both teams at 4-1, a 3-way tie, currently atop the N10 conference.
There goes Bogner.
Has a shotgun snap, rolling left, and a straight quarterback keeper. Nowhere to go for Bogner. He's going to get dropped for about a 4-yard loss, but that's fine.
Yeah,
they're going to burn. The play clock is at 35, game clock at 58.
And actually, even the way they play was designed, he was sort of jogging it out there. Like, he kind of took a step forward. Like, you could see even in the play design, it's like, I'm gonna do as much as I can to eat as much clock in the play itself. So it's not just I'm gonna fall right away and only burn 1 second. I'm gonna make this a 5-second play where I'm gonna lose 3 yards, but I don't really care about that, because I'm gonna call another timeout here, and by the time it hits, it's gonna be 28 seconds left. And is there any chance that Carey can score with 26.1 seconds? They're going to score 2 touchdowns, and they still don't have the ball. It's 4th down for Mohawk. So,
Warrior fans come to their feet here with 26.1 on the clock. The timeout taken by Coach Daniel. And I know coming into this week, they're coming off that loss to Upper Sandusky, a game that, they feel like they should have won, but they were without Kane Heyman. They were without Caleb Bish. And they had to bounce back this week at home. It's senior night. They're still in the hunt for that N10 title, and you got to give a lot of credit to these Mohawk Warriors. They stepped up big time.
Oh, they were unbelievable tonight. I thought they played fantastic, especially early on. The first quarter, they came out fast. They scored. They got up on Carey, And quite honestly, when they needed to make stops on the Blue Devils, they did. There was a lot of times in this game where I thought Carey was gaining some momentum, especially running the football. But there was turnovers, there was mistakes along the way, and Mohawk took advantage of it every step of the way. They've never trailed in this game. They have been ahead and basically been in control, at least on the scoreboard.
It is the battle for the victory trophy, and it looks like it's coming back to Sycamore for the first time since 2018. 4th and 18. Bogner steps back, going to air it out, just chuck it up, because why not? Incomplete.
I like the way the scoreboard operator worked there.
Let it go down a little bit extra, down to 17.1. So that was 4th down, a turnover on downs. Carey's going to get the ball, but they're only going to be able to snap it.
Yep, exactly.
They cannot stop the clock.
They can't stop the clock, so, and with 17 seconds left and they got a whole bunch of yardage in front of them, I mean, it's pretty much putting a nail in the coffin here. This was just a very well-played game here by Mohawk. And you can see the enthusiasm from a lot of the players out there. They know it. For Mohawk, they're like, you know what, we don't want to celebrate too early, but I think at this point in time, it's probably not too early.
Rivalry dating back to the 60s. And this is the first time the Warriors can hold their heads high since 2018 in a game against the Blue Devils.
There goes Bose.
Bose steps up over the middle, passes incomplete. Stops it with 9.5. Looking for Trip Phoenix at the 40. Should be one more play. Fans starting to make their way to the exits. But Mohawk staying atop the N10 conference. They will move to 5-1 against the league. And 7-2 overall. Mohawk dropping everybody back deep. This is a defense, Jeff, that, they've got a couple shutouts this year.
Yeah.
I know defensive coordinator Eric Daniel really loves to keep his defensive numbers low.
Yes, he does.
So this is, against Carey, you hold him to 14, you got to like that.
Throw it out to Phoenix.
Phoenix catches it, gets over the 40, goes out of
He'll
bounds.
get run out of bounds, though. So
going to be short of a first down, but stops the clock with 3.2. So one more play here from Sycamore.
They gave him a first down, so why not?
I guess.
It was.
Stay tuned after the game. We have our Ken Standing Seam post-game show brought to you by Ken and Matt Studer at Ken Standing Seam. Post-game analysis. Jeff will have some stats, and then we'll get it back to Davy Jones and the Friday night phone board. Trips right. Bose steps up to throw. Pressure. Gets rid of it. Across the middle. It is caught by Puckett. Puckett breaks a tackle, goes down at the 25-yard line, but that's going to do it. Mohawk at home takes down the Carey Blue Devils 27-14. A huge conference and rivalry win for the Mohawk Warriors.
Oh, they got so much to be proud of here tonight. Mohawk fans, that's one of these games, the desire to rush the field after this one, because it was big for the Mohawk Warriors. Obviously, Carey's been sort of the class of the conference, them and Crawford, for the last several years, and Mohawk has been staking their claim throughout this season. Big win here tonight.
Once again, the final score, Mohawk 27, Carey 14. We'll be back to wrap it up after these messages.
Okay, how long do you need?
Give me...
Farmall. 100 years of can-do. 100 years of milestones. 100 years of family. Generation after generation, its legacy lives on. The one for all since 1923.
First Federal Community Bank is excited to offer the Ohio Home Buyers Plus program, and it's meant to offer an above-market interest rate to help the potential home buyer in their journey towards home ownership.
We've got great rates, especially for first-time home buyers. Here at First Federal Community Bank, we are here to make the home buying experience smooth and stress-free.
As a community bank, we're excited to offer this account to help fulfill the dream of owning a home. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Happy Halloween.
Another chapter in this rivalry in the books. 27-14, Mohawk gets the win here at home, Jeff. Top the N10. Both these teams coming in at 4-1 against the conference.
Yeah.
And a game that Mohawk really needed to bounce back. Carey, certainly, they want to stay atop. They've been the cream of the crop of the N10 in the last couple of years. They haven't lost this game since 2018. And they got to come on the road. Tough place to play. Mohawk gets it done.
Well, for Carey, it was tough scheduling because, beginning of the season wasn't great. They lost that early season conference game to Seneca East. But then they were unfortunate in the scheduling. They got Crawford and Mohawk back-to-back. They were able to take out the Eagles a week ago. Pretty impressive game. Tonight, though, Mohawk playing with a lot of heart after not only do they really want to beat Carey, let's be honest, but losing that game a week ago against Upper, I think they had a lot to prove tonight, and they wanted to come out and prove that they're the best team in this conference, and that it's them and Seneca East. They're going to be playing for the top of it, and one of them is going to be the sole winner of this conference because they're the only ones left with one loss.
Yeah, big game coming up next week. Mohawk and Seneca East will be on the call of that right here on WQEL. Stay tuned. That'll be next Friday. But really, Jeff, the story of this, the defense for Mohawk. They get a couple big turnovers on downs. They get a couple takeaways. That's what we'll talk to Ben Bogner here coming up, but the defense stepped up big time.
Oh, they were fantastic tonight. I mean, I'll tell you right now, there were moments in this game that it really did feel like Carey's running attack was really kind of putting it together, but ultimately in the end, they weren't able to kind of put the finishing touches on this ball game because of the fact they couldn't ever get closer than one touchdown because Mohawk would they would either get the interception, they picked up fumbles, or they would just make the stops that they needed. And that's a credit to Coach Daniel and the entire staff, and the entire players, that is, for the Mohawk Warriors. Never gave in on this game. A Carey team that's really tough to play with and tough to beat.
You're listening to the Ken Standing Seam post-game show brought to you by Ken and Matt Studer at Ken Standing Seam. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll be back with some more stats right after this.
Okay, how long?
We want to
First Federal Community Bank is excited to be entering its second year of media sponsorship for local nonprofits.
We've partnered with Crawford County Now to offer nonprofits a podcast and a radio spot.
First Federal Community Bank, member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
WQEL 92.7 FM, WQEL.com, and live online on the OH Report. You're listening to the Ken Standing Seam postgame show brought to you by Ken and Matt Studer at Ken Standing Seam. Phone Matt today at 419-544-6275. That's 419-544-6275. I'm looking around this Mohawk complex, and I see a couple Ken Standing Seam roofs. So, and these things are going to last forever. Give Matt a call. Get a roof that's going to last forever. You never have to worry about it again. Final score here from Warrior Field in Sycamore, Ohio. The Warriors 27, the Carey Blue Devils 14. I'm joined now by senior quarterback leader, 3-year starter Ben Bogner. Ben, a phenomenal game here tonight. you guys were tasked. You had to bounce back after a tough loss last week against Upper Sandusky. You didn't have your dogs with you last week. You didn't have Heyman. You didn't have Bish. You get those guys back. You stepped up big time. Defense, offense, everybody played phenomenal.
Yeah, we did. The coaches told us, hold them to 14 points or less, and we're going to win the football game. And we hold them at exactly 14, and Coach said, we got to start creating turnovers, because when we beat Crawford, we created so many turnovers that game, and the same thing happened tonight, and we see what happens when we come through with what the coaches tell us to do here.
You come out big time in the first quarter. You get that 14-0 lead, and the offense kind of stalled out, but then the defense stepped up. You talk about those turnovers, but how important was it to get that lead out of the gate?
We know that if you get ahead on a team like Carey that likes to run the football, if they have to make them throw the ball, it makes it a whole lot harder for them to drive the ball down the field. And our mindset was come out of the gate hot and get on them and make them have to throw the football.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you said, they're not built to come from behind. You get that lead, couple turnovers, and they coming out of the third quarter with the football. What was the message at halftime? You just have that one-score lead. They're coming out. They're still very much in the football game. What did you guys kind of talk about at half to get that stop?
So far this year, we've almost been on defense every single time in the first quarter when we've got the ball to start the second half. And the coaches are always on us like, we got to set the tone on the second half offensive drive. And it was almost the same mindset except defensively. It was take away number 24 and make other people make plays. And obviously he's hard to take down, number 24. He's huge. And it was just make other people make plays.
Absolutely, and you guys stepped up big. We were calling all sorts. I mean, everybody on the defense was stepping up tonight. Yeah. Late in the ball game, you guys are pushing down the field. You're trying to melt that clock, and they call your number, quarterback keeper. You're trying to. It's a 3rd and long, and you were able to bounce it outside. A heads-up play, you slide inbounds. I mean, that's just such a heady play, a leadership play.
Yeah, I knew I wanted this one so bad, like it might be my last game here, and I knew I would have liked to try to run farther probably, but I knew it was the better idea for the team to slide and chew up more of the clock.
Well, Ben, great play, phenomenal ball game. Go celebrate this one with your teammates. Remember this for a long time, buddy.
Thank you.
That's Ben Bogner, our McDonald's player of the game. Ben, 10 of 22, 187 yards on the evening. Just a phenomenal performance by the senior quarterback.
Oh, he was fantastic tonight. Again, our the Lewis family McDonald's player of the game ends up this game. Ben Bogner, 10 completions on 22 attempts, 187 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. But also 21 carries, 107 yards on the ground, and a touchdown there. So, again, doing it both ways, and he was outstanding on defense as well.
And he's done it, for 2-3 years now.
Yeah.
He's phenomenal. Phenomenal leader, phenomenal quarterback.
Absolutely. Let's look at the final numbers here. First off, for Mohawk, adding to it, Caden Bish on the ground, 17 yards on 3 carries. Kane Heyman, the big 29-yard touchdown run for him. So Bish has a touchdown, Heyman a touchdown on the ground, Bogner a touchdown on the ground. So they've got 3 touchdowns on 25 carries, 153 yards. Bogner, again, 187 yards in the air, a touchdown there. That went to Caleb Bish, so everybody's getting their hands in it. 4 catches for him, 98 yards. It was Kane Heyman there, 6 catches, 89 yards, 340 in total offense in this game for the Mohawk Warriors. Eli Steen, our Lewis family McDonald's player of the game for the Carey Blue Devils. Nice game for him overall. Ended up He was a workhorse, 29 carries, 137 yards, had 2 touchdowns. He did what he could, but not enough. It was Kyler Bowes, 12 carries, 36 yards. Dash Bucket, 5 carries, 32 yards. Mace Bucket, 4 carries, that is, got 61 yards, including kind of a pickup fumble that he moved forward. Brandon Tanner, a run for 2 yards. So they get 268 yards on the ground. Bowes throwing the football, 7 of 15. Trip Phoenix threw an incomplete pass as well. So 79 yards of total offense passing, 2 interceptions thrown by Bowes. Trip Phoenix leads the team with 3 catches, 24 yards. Dash Bucket, 2 catches for 38 yards. Bryce Bucket, a catch for 12. Chase Stone, a catch for 5. 247 in total offense for Carey. In the end, pretty impressive victory and performance for the Mohawk Warriors.
Yeah, top to bottom, offense, defense, special teams, stepping up and showing out tonight. Mohawk getting the victory at home on senior night, 27-14. They look to go into week 10, and they're going to match up against Seneca East. We'll have the call next week. That could be, well, it will be for the league championship here in 2024 for the N10 Conference. Stay tuned to WQEL all week long as we'll be bringing you more coverage of high school football for the next coming weeks. So a big thank you to everybody here at Mohawk High School, to John Kreider back at Station Control, to everybody at the OH.REPORT, and yeah, of course, to all of our listeners, wherever you are, however it is you may be listening, we appreciate you tuning in to WQEL and the OH.REPORT. For Jeff Roberts, I'm Josh Stolling saying good night and get home safe, everybody.